According to the government's just-released Consumer Price Index, prices rose 0.2% in February, a 2.8% increase year over year, compared to a 3% rise in January. This latest report a bit better than analysts had been expecting. As President Trump pursues his drive to streamline government, the Justice Department is, among other things, restructuring its public corruption unit.
Prosecutors have been told they will be asked to take new assignments and cases will be transferred to U.S. attorneys' offices around the country. The decision comes weeks after the Public Integrity Unit's leadership resigned when Deputy Attorney General Emile Bove ordered corruption charges be dropped against New York Mayor Eric Adams. The DOJ spokesperson says department leadership is taking a broad look at the agency's resources, but have made no final decisions about the future of the Public Integrity Section. It was created in 1976 following the Watergate scandal. Ben Thomas, Washington.
The European Union will impose fresh tariffs on American goods, according to the European Commission president.
Ursula von der Leyen announces retaliatory trade measures, responding within hours to the Trump administration's increase in tariffs on all steel and aluminium imports to 25%.
The countermeasures we take today are strong but proportionate.
The EU measures cover goods up to $28 billion, not just steel and aluminium products, but also textiles, home appliances and agricultural goods. Motorcycles, bourbon, peanut butter and jeans will also be hit, as they were during President Donald Trump's first term. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Wall Street futures holding on to gains following release of the latest inflation report. The Dow futures up 242 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 264 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Let me talk about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free, too, with their 3-week Quick Start Kit for only $19.95, less than $1 a day. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or eliminate pain. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
The British government says the Trump administration's tariffs on global steel and aluminum imports are disappointing, but that it will not be imposing retaliatory measures. Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds says the UK will keep all options on the table. Britain not part of the European Union, which has announced import taxes on a wide array of American goods in response to President Trump's move. UK Prime Minister Starmer has worked to build strong ties with Mr. Trump in hopes of avoiding tariffs. Last year, the UK accounted for about 7% of the UK's total steel exports by volume, 9% by value. Pakistani officials say security forces have exchanged gunfire with hundreds of separatist terrorists holding about 250 hostages on a train in the country's rugged southwest. Security forces are in a tense standoff, refraining from an all-out attack as the hostages are surrounded by gunmen wearing vests packed with explosives. News and analysis at townhall.com. Federal investigators issue recommendations for safer skies surrounding a major Washington, D.C. airport. It was the scene of a deadly aviation disaster a couple of months ago.
National Transportation Safety Board Chairwoman Jennifer Homendy says many helicopters and planes are flying way too close in the area where a Black Hawk helicopter collided with a passenger jet in January, killing 67 people. Homendy says choppers and planes can get as close as 75 feet from each other while trying to land at Reagan National Airport in Washington.
We're therefore recommending today that the FAA permanently prohibit operations on helicopter Route 4 between Haynes Point and the Wilson Bridge when runways 15 and 33 are being used for departures and arrivals at DCA.
And that report filed by correspondent Donna Warder. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to a morning without Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, halfway day, hump day, whatever day you want to call it, just so long as you get up, you get out of it, and doggone it, you make it your day, because that's really all we can do these days. Yes, Mixmaster Mike Winters is off doing a follow-up exam with his eyeballs. Gonna start calling him old Mikey Laser Eyes over here because they've been doing some laser procedures, and all in all to improve his vision, get rid of some of the nonsense that happens. Let's face it, we're getting old. We're all aging, some gracefully, and then there's your boys. But Mixmaster Mike will be back inside of your radios tomorrow morning, God willing. He's not going to be driving back himself. He has a chauffeur, I believe. So Lord willing, he'll be back inside your radios and right back here in the captain's chair tomorrow morning to grace us with all kinds of stories from the road, I'm sure. He's heading over into Bucky's country. They're starting to kind of make their way this way. I kind of wish they would, do something in the New Mexico realm. But as you kind of edge towards Texas, you get into Bucky's country, and maybe Mike can swing by and grab himself some beaver nuggets. I'm telling you, I had a friend who just recently came back from a trip to Austin, and stopped off at the Bucky's there, or one of the Bucky's, and picked up some beaver nuggets for me because I wanted to try the phenomenon that everybody's been talking about on TikTok, the beaver nuggets cereal, which, as far as trends go, it's not exactly the most creative of trends. It's just beaver nuggets in milk. And honestly, it's pretty good. It's pretty freaking good. If you've ever had corn pops, it's basically like that on steroids. You're going to want to give it some soak time because the milk doesn't permeate the nugget quite as successfully as it would, say, a breakfast cereal. So it takes a while for the flavors to kind of get combined. But it's definitely one of the best post-cereal milk experiences I've ever had, getting rid of the milk at the end. But hopefully Mike can find his way to a Bucky's. Maybe he'll bring us back some beaver nuggets for the on-air experience. But in the meantime, you got me, you got Second Banana Smalls in the captain's chair, and I'll be regaling you with stories all morning long. I got to tell you, this week has flown by for me. I'm shocked it's already Wednesday. Pull back at the curtain. We've talked about it a little bit here on the show. Coming up this weekend, Saturday to be specific, I'm going to be heading to El Paso to check out the TNA, which, by the way, I've had to clarify a few times. TNA stands for Total Nonstop Action, for all you sickos out there. But I'm going to be heading down to their series of TV tapings they do there in El Paso. And I don't know, I've sort of been spending this weekend awash in kind of anxiety. See, full disclosure, I don't usually take these adventures on my own. Now, in fairness, I'm going to have Roy as my co-pilot. I know I'm a crazy person, but I'm going to have Roy as my co-pilot, so hopefully we can keep some conversation, and that'll make the drive a little bit smoother. But that being said, I don't usually take these little sojourns by myself. And when I do, well, things tend to go, where do I put this? Nipples north, I guess would be the best way to put it. They tend to go wrong very quickly. And usually that involves me, calling a friend and be like, hey, can you help me? Can a real man come help me? But I'm keeping my hopes high that this is going to be a successful trip. El Paso is a whole other beast, and I've only driven there a few times. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but I've been doing this driving thing for a couple decades now, so I think I'm going to be okay. But pray for your boy, because we're going to be off on the open road coming up on Saturday. Hey, quick programming note. Later on this morning, about 9:45, we are going to get kicked off the radio because it's for a very good reason. Playoff basketball action happening at the pit starting this morning with your Roswell High School boys. They are the number 4 seed. They're going to be taking on Farmington, the number 12 seed. That's the quarterfinal there at the pit. That game kicks off around 9:45. I believe we have Art and Kelly up there on the old 1s and 2s, so they'll be bringing you the audio-only coverage of the game. We couldn't get video coverage, but we will have that for you right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, beginning about 9:45, so they're going to boot us off La Radio a little bit early, but that's okay, because it's basketball, and doggone it, we all love us some Coyote basketball action. But again, at about 8:45, and then for you Bulldog fans, and we'll have that game also over at ksvptv.com under the Roswell Coyote tab. Just click that, and you can enjoy the audio of that game with the scoreboard there. It does help to keep track of what's going on. Then your later on this afternoon, your number 2 seed, he's always got this at the smallest font, your number 2 seed Artesia Bulldogs going to be taking on the number 7 Valley. That's the 4A quarterfinal. That's going down this afternoon beginning at 3 p.m. You can catch that game on our sister station, AM 990 KSVP, and, of course, online at ksvptv.com. Just click on the Bulldogs tab, and you can enjoy that game in its entirety. But for this morning, we're getting booted about 9:45, so we can bring you the coverage of that quarterfinal there with Roswell High and Farmington going down starting at 9:45. Let me give you the rundown for this morning's proceedings. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to replay the interview that Mike had earlier this week with the Chavez County Federated Republican Women. It's actually not a replay. It's a pre-record that Mike had. He had a great sit-down chat with them, so we'll be playing that for you coming up here in just a little bit. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15 or so, we got Roswell Independent School District Superintendent Brian Luck. He'll be joining us, giving us the rundown of what happened at the school board meeting last evening and the state of the Roswell Independent School District, so to speak. So we'll be bringing that to you in the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, around 9:15 or so, folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater are going to be joining us. And this is a pretty cool event. The MS Events is bringing Your Voice Auditions. It's open to kids ages 10 to 17. It's a singing contest. Your best 2-minute performance could be your chance at some stage time and some experience, probably some pretty good prizes too. So we'll be sitting down, chatting with the folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater coming up here in just a few minutes. Plus your hourly features, which include your Kim Commando update, Sean Hannity update, business report, news, and all that good stuff, and whatever else comes our way. Let me find the tab here. Real quickly, I did want to tell you that there's something big going on at the Spencer Theater. That's right. Get ready to boogie at the Spencer Theater for the Performing Arts. Coming up this Saturday, March 15th at 7 p.m., experience When Disco Was King, featuring former members of the Village People. I'm guessing it's everybody but the cop. You get to dance the night away with from legends from the Bee Gees, Donna Summer, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Get your best polyester plaid outfit on and go boogie the night away. You can get your tickets today by visiting SpencerTheater.com or call the Spencer box office at 575-336-4800. That's 575-336-4800. See you at the Spencer, located on Spencer Road in beautiful Alto, New Mexico. So make sure to get out there and check that out. When disco was king, it had its moment, but boy, did it die hard. If you ever get a chance, go back and watch the footage from, I can't remember what the game was, but if you just type in MLB Disco Night, it's one of the greatest pieces of footage I've ever seen in my entire life, because basically the gimmick was bring a disco record, get in free or get like a free hot dog or something. But basically everybody brought all their disco vinyl records and then proceeded to set them ablaze in the middle of the baseball field, and chaos ensued. It's just good viewing. I'm just saying, if you're looking for something to pass the time, maybe a work meeting's going a little long, pull it up on your phone, turn it down a little bit, and just watch the chaos. It's always fun to watch it unfurl. 15 minutes after 7 o'clock, let us pause and get you up to date with your weather. As soon as I tell it to do so, because this computer never likes me. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Really gusty wind today. We have a low pressure area moving to our north. No rain for us. In fact, we'll stay sunny, but that wind will be kicking up to about 40 or 45 miles an hour. Afternoon high today in the mid 70s. Overnight will be clear and windy with a few gusts around 30 miles an hour. Overnight low in the upper 30s. We get another gusty day on Thursday, sunny at upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, calm weather, or calm wind, which is it's always nice. 44 degrees currently, humidity about 23%. Winds are calm at the moment, about 5 miles an hour. That will change. Barometer at 29.82 inches with a dew point of 8 degrees. Like I said, we are under a red flag wind warning for the majority of today. Areas of blowing dust afternoon, mostly sunny skies, a high of around 73 degrees, but breezy with a south wind 10 to 15 miles an hour becoming northwest 20 to 25. Winds could gust as high as 35 miles an hour. We've had worse, but we've had better. Areas of blowing dust continue tonight before 8 p.m., mostly clear with a low of around 39 degrees. Looks like the winds are going to calm down just a hair for the overnight. Winds about 15 to 20 miles an hour, becoming west 5 to 10 after midnight. They could still gust up to 30, but calmer, steady winds. Areas of blowing dust after 3 p.m., partly sunny for your Thursday with a high of around 78 degrees. It's going to be breezy. Once again, winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southwest. Winds 15 to 25 miles an hour in the afternoon. They could gust as high as 35 miles an hour. For Thursday night, this could be good news because it could tamp down some of the blowing dust. Slight chance of showers. Not a great chance, but a slight chance. Mixing with a chance for snow. Yeah, that's right, snow after 3 a.m. Areas of blowing snow after 3 a.m. Patchy blowing dust before 9 p.m. Boy, they love writing these long-winded ones when it's really windy. And then patchy blowing dust after midnight. Mostly clear, low of around 41, windy, southwest winds 25 to 30, gusts as high as 45, and your chance of precipitation is at 20%. For your Friday, winds, widespread blowing dust, mainly after 9 a.m. Look, folks, they're just giving me the weather. Don't kill the messenger, all right? Sunny skies, a high of around 62 degrees, windy with a west wind 25 to 30 miles an hour, increasing to between 35 and 40 in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 55 miles an hour. So Friday is going to be the big blowy one. They took the weekend off as far as writing these novels because Friday night all they have is mostly cloudy, a low of around 36, and windy. Mostly sunny, a high of 60 on Saturday, mostly clear and 36 for Saturday night, sunny and 67 on Sunday. And looks like at least the winds are going to calm down until the back half of next week for at least Monday and Tuesday. It's going to be 70s and relatively calm the wind situation. 19 minutes after 7 o'clock, let us pause, pay a couple of these bills, and then after the break, Mike's interview with the ladies from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women on the other side of these on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Check out some of the Lucky 7 bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. 5-pound bags of bleached Food Club all-purpose flour are $1.77 each, and cans of Starkist Chunk Light Tuna in water are 87 cents each. In produce, black or red seedless grapes are $1.97 a pound, and heads of green cabbage are 27 cents a pound. In the meat department, family packs of bone-in sirloin cut pork chops are $1.47 a pound, and family packs of fryer thighs or drumsticks are 97 cents a pound. These are just some of the Lucky 7 bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Springtime is coming quickly, and that means it's time for the spring open house for high school students and their parents at Eastern New Mexico University. Join us Saturday, March 22nd, as we welcome potential students and their family members to campus. ENMU will feature campus tours, opportunities to meet with current students and professors, information on scholarships, and chances to win great prizes. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. That Do Right. Do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers. The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get a kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com/Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. Artesia Main Street is bringing the fun to downtown. On Friday, March 28th, following the main event car cruise, enjoy the Downtown Street Dance with live music from Mammoth Cults. Plus food trucks, great tunes, and an evening of non-stop fun, all with free admission. Don't miss the Downtown Street Dance with music from Mammoth Cults happening Friday, March 28th, 6:30 p.m. in the heart of downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and La Pantera 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 till 2 at Richland Dodge at the Y in Roswell. The madness in March is on, and for 4 big days, all Richland inventory will be at Richland Dodge. Richland has gone mad with discounts and sweet savings, so you'll score big. And we're not talking basketball. We'll be there with hot dogs and ice-cold Pepsi products and all sorts of fun. See you Saturday, 10 to 2 at Richland Dodge at the Y in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning from the Chavez County Federated Republican Women, of course, our I say new president, but we're like 3 months in. New is still kind of. Is new still allowed here? But Charlotte Gurule, the president here, also Connie Hester as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's life? Y'all keeping the wind, keeping rocks in your pocket, and all that good stuff.
It's been crazy, and that wind has been really, really.
It has, crazy. But it is March. It's kind of we should be used to it by now.
Yeah, if you live in New Mexico, you're used to it every year, every spring. So
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So. Now, for folks listening, maybe if you're not familiar with the Chavez County Federated Republican Women, maybe new to the area or anything, but the title kind of does give a good clue on what it is. It is the women's organization that works with the Republican Party for Chavez County and the state of New Mexico, obviously, in part. And so it's kind of a twofold. It's a service organization. When it's when there's not elections and stuff, there's always that going on, and they're always. But when you're not in the hot election season, a lot of it's service organizations working with youth, working with community, various other organizations, things like that. And obviously, as we get into election cycles, Republican candidates supporting them, getting them, helping them get a platform, helping them get volunteers, obviously, you guys, when it's primary season, you guys have to play Switzerland. But once after that happens, then you can rally behind the troops and do what you got to do.
Right. It's just basically keeping the community informed.
Yeah.
And educational purposes. Yeah. We work with the community, as you said.
Yeah. And then you kind of do it by having your monthly meetings each month, which is why we always have you come in the Tuesday before the week before your meetings, because you guys meet that third Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm sorry,
third Wednesday.
Third Wednesday a month. Used to meet at the convention center, obviously with the flooding. And so you guys have been lately going to.
We are at the Roswell Elks Lodge.
The Elks Lodge,
1720 North Montana.
Yeah, and they've been your host for the last several months.
Oh yeah, great place, great venue. Unfortunately, with the convention center having been flooded, we had to change venues, but it's been working.
It's been great, and the Elks are a great host and good cooks and everything else.
Great food.
So you're not missing a beat, other than instead of going to the downtown here, you're going to go to the Elks Lodge there.
Right.
And get it. But it'll same bat time and channel. About 11:30ish, everything get going.
Absolutely. It's going to be next Wednesday, which is the 19th. The doors open at 11:30. We start, serving about 11:40, and our meeting officially starts at noon.
Yeah. For the sake of the chefs and everybody, we ask you to do RSVP, especially if you want lunch. Now, if you choose not to eat, come on down. And come on down either way. But if you'd like to eat, it'd be sure nice if you give us a heads up. That way we can.
Yes. We are on Facebook. There is an RSVP. We do send out emails as well. So, we would appreciate, if you're going to have lunch, to RSVP, and that helps us prepare and make sure that we have plenty of food.
Trust me, even if you're like, no, you're going to want, because what's going to happen is you're like, no, I'm good. I'll just eat a little salad later or something. You're going to get there, and everyone's around there chowing down, and it's going to smell good, and you're going to sit there with your hat in your hand, like, should have got food.
Yeah.
So save you that trouble and go ahead and get your plate and
that's true. Give us a call and or send an email, RSVP, and we can have lunch ready for you.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be having a hamburger buffet with all the fixings, and we have dessert and tea and water. So everything is included for $17.
Nice.
Which is a great deal.
I was about to say, nowadays $17 will get you like maybe a McDonald's meal.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So you get to sit down with or socialize with the community and listen to informative speakers. Next week we're going to have Diana Luce.
Oh, our DA.
Yes. She's going to come in and talk about
the
the
5th
changes.
Judicial District DA. Should clarify.
That's let's give the correct title here.
Yes.
And she's going to be speaking on the changes with the southern border, and then also we have Greg Nybert, recently appointed to
former state rep, now serving in a different role here.
Right.
So
Public Relations Commission.
Absolutely.
And he's going to be coming in and just kind of talking about his vision for the future. And
absolutely, folks. While you go next week, both great speakers. This is something I want you to ask Diana Luce about and support. They have a program, and we have the folks on every month. It's called the DA Dog Program. And it's kind of created through her office. This is something that she's created and has championed, and it's a great program. They have these dogs that really go in, and it's allowing her prosecutors to get way more information, to get cases convicted. It's great. It's a valuable tool for prosecutors to help with victims, with witnesses, with getting information, so they're getting more. Now, and then here's the run. This is all privately funded. This is all done, and so. Talk with Diane about how you can support it, but also talk to your legislators about this is something the state should be funding. This is something every district attorney's office in the United States of America should have one of these programs. As far as I'm concerned.
I'll definitely.
Ask her a little bit about it on Wednesday next week when you guys are out there.
Absolutely.
And talk about it. It's one of her programs, and she's kind of trying to spread it into the other judicial districts But the thing is, we need funding for this kind of thing, and it's all private now.
So, just encouraging, Republicans come out and join us, listen, to these two speakers.
Yeah.
Get involved, join our membership. And we're the largest group or the largest club in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So we're continuing.
One of the most
membership.
active too.
Absolutely.
This is what I want to tell folks to do. I want to give you guys a little bit of competition. No offense.
Okay.
But I would if you've got friends in Santa Fe and Four Corners, ask them to get involved in their counties or their local Chavez County Federated Republican Women as well too. I want you guys to keep winning, but I want to give you some competition. I want to make sure we got some more Republicans around the state, doing what you guys are doing here.
We've been working with the other clubs around the state and kind of networking, trying to see what they do, what we do, and just kind of bounce ideas off of each other.
But I'm going to take a stab that because, between us and the Four Corners, I mean, just face it, do the numbers. That's where the Republicans are concentrated in this state, is down here and up in the Four Corners. So, imagine those groups in Santa Fe and Las Cruces, more liberal communities, are having a little bit more time getting volunteers and getting people involved.
Yeah, and then
they got to struggle.
We have great committees. I mean, we have Connie Hester, who chairs our Caring for America. Yeah. So I wanted
good segue. Show you got digging radio here. So, you already retired once, but if this gig doesn't work out, we can start you on a radio gig.
Yeah, and I wanted her to come in and just talk about what she's doing.
Talk a little bit about your committee, Connie, that you're heading up here.
Well, what we do in the Caring for America program is to usually, so far we have been doing the Assurance Home.
That's a great organization. If you've never seen what they do for youth out there,
they do great things. And and because they don't have a lot of personal stuff, we take 4 times a year, at least 4 times a year. We just did Valentine's Day, and we took cupcakes and ice cream and some cards and different things for them.
Make it feel like home for some of these teenagers and things. Give them a little taste of home.
And then St. Patrick's Day, we're taking stuff over for them to have the green beads and some. We made some little.
That's cool.
Things,
I would appreciate it, but I don't know if teenagers would appreciate like corned beef and cabbage. But
no,
I would. I'd be like, lunch. But you bring that over to a bunch of kids, they might not be as receptive.
No.
Guess what, kids? Corned beef and cabbage.
Yes, that would be so good.
But if we're going to go Irish, that's the way to go.
So we're going to take things over on the 14th for them to have for their
own St.
Patty's Day. And then we do 4th of July, Independence Day. And we'll take maybe, who knows what we're going to take. We haven't decided.
Well,
but
you know what?
What?
Come volunteer and you can be part of the decision process. So get more and be involved with the committee. And by the way, it is called the Chavez County Federated Republican Women, but men serve a very active role in the Federated Republican Women as well. So a lot of times it's a spouse, husband-wife team. The wife is a member of the Federated Republican Women, and the husband serves in kind of a
associate.
Associate. I keep wanting to say auxiliary role, but same thing.
Associate.
Kind of the same kind of deal there. So
right,
absolutely. Bring your husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and if your passion is youth and that kind of thing, this is maybe you want to get on Connie's committee and stay. And you're like, well, I'm not so much political, but I love working with youth. I love working with nonprofit, with that kind of stuff. And Connie's committee's got a lot of places to put you to help.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have so many committees that someone could come in and join. The literacy, we work with the school districts throughout the valley, and we've got the scrapbooking.
Yeah,
I mean,
and of course with your scholarship program with youth, you have your youth kind of junior members that serve, and of course you'll see them at the lunches. They'll be the ones kind of bussing tables or just kind of doing some of the logistics of the meeting.
Right.
But yeah, they're working the scholarships and kind of learning. They're transitioning to adulthood and kind of learning some of the lessons to get them there, and that's all part of that. So,
well, one of the things for us, the Caring for America, is that We do accept monetary donations.
And would love to have some.
And we would love to have some
Sure.
in the form of cash
Sure.
or gift cards.
And yeah, anything that you can tangibly give to these
Right.
kids or use directly for these kids would be very beneficial.
And in this Christmas, we're making them quilts.
Okay.
So that when they are finished with their program, they can take them with them.
And I'm going to take a guess because they're quilts.
Yes.
They'll be long into the, past our age in their 70s and 80s, and they'll still have that
They'll
quilt
still have
for
it.
their lives.
And remember the Republican women.
Yeah. And hopefully their time at and that's just it, the Assurance Home and what they do there and what
Yes.
these kids, it's for kids that, they've kind of, whatever life's handed them, they kind of, we're getting down the wrong path here a little bit. And this program just brings these kids through so many things because it pushes them out of, like they do like the confidence course type things that make these kids out of their comfort zone a little bit. But when they do that, they come back as, better, the team members, things like that. It all kind of just gets into I don't know, the things that they were missing, they find there, some of those adulting skills through life lessons, through critical thinking skills and the things that, the disconnects they were having in life, even if it's a social stuff.
Right.
Assurance Home kind of fills those gaps, puts them in.
Right.
So when they complete the program, they are better equipped to whatever their dreams they want to pursue. They've got the tools to do it.
Right.
That's what that program's about.
When Connie came up with this idea, of doing the quilts, we just all thought, wow, what a great idea. They're going to have something that, that's theirs and will provide, hopefully a little security as they, are going through this
Well, it's a
program.
keepsake. It's going to be something that's their very own, something and that's,
Right.
like myself, there's things in my various trunks and, things that from my kid in my own time of, it's very similar, time in life experiencing things from like scouting days or college days or whatever. This is their mementos and things. And I'm going to take a stab that they'll be going through one of these when they pull that quilt out and there'll be one of their children there asking about it. And there they go.
Right. And they can hand it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, Connie's a new chair and, coming in as a new chair, she's bringing all these great ideas. Yeah. And so, we're just trying to change it up. So it's just been wonderful to have her come in and, volunteer and chair this committee. And, she's doing an amazing job.
And it's people with passion. That's kind of, when you do, and the cool part is, this is you get to see a direct, and this is what I think fun. If you love to, work with children and see the impacts of it, talk to Connie here because that's the cool part. You see tangible results. You see the light bulb moments. You see the direct benefit of the thing you just did for them, and you see the and it's good for to have a server's heart, but you take so much back from that when you see that what you did and how it impacted their life. I'm just saying. There's no greater high than that one sometimes.
That's true.
Absolutely.
But we also, on the Caring for America, we do Veterans Day for the veterans.
Oh, yeah. And of course, you always devote one of your meetings every year, the November meeting, to our veterans.
Meeting.
Yes, that's a tradition that you guys have been doing for years.
And you are part of that.
I've been part of it for the last half dozen years or so, I think.
And what we do is we send out Christmas cards to the veterans. We also
the troops overseas, like you'll go and gather, usually around the holiday season. Ask folks to fill out postcards, fill out things, and we go send them to kind of like care package style to our troops.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do this year. So
unfortunately, there's always a location where we need to send these. There's never been a year it's like, oh, there's no place to send them. Everybody's home.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right.
That'd be a good problem to have, Connie. I'll be honest. I'd be like, well, everybody's home. We have nobody to send them to.
And also, if an organization, a nonprofit organization, needs our help, reach sure out. and reach out to either Charlotte or myself, and hopefully we can pass on some more stuff.
I'm going to, obviously, you work with Altrusans and everything, we can do a laundry list of groups you worked with over the past, but, particularly like youth groups, things like that. Anytime it's involved in youth, I know that's kind of a soft spot for you guys for that. So particularly groups that work with youth or work, if you're looking for more connections, more potential resources to help each other out here a little bit, reach out to the Federated Republican Women. Maybe there's a partnership we can work out here.
We'd love to have you. Come join us.
Come to the meeting. Come to lunch next week. Come have a burger. Come hear our DA and Greg Nybert speak. Ask. And here's another thing too is we get a lot of, unfortunately, because we're still in the legislative session, this one's going to be a little dry. I mean, not dry, but a little lessly populated with our legislators than normally because they're all in Santa Fe right now.
Right.
But this is a great chance to meet other, because like you said, I'm sure you're going to see county commissioners, you're going to see all kinds of who's who of city leaders, everything in between that are going to be in attendance, and this is a great place to sit down and chew the fat with them a little bit, talk and ask questions and talk in informal setting,
network with everyone.
Absolutely.
And with the session ending this month on the 22nd, so next month we plan on inviting.
That's usually the recap one, and your legislators
come in and recap.
Do the good, the bad, the ugly that came in and out, and unfortunately, I'm not seeing I'm seeing some bad legislation coming out of Santa Fe this week.
Yeah, we've been sending out. We try and keep our members informed, so we're sending out legislative issues and just calls about.
I was seeing some scuttlebutt on social media over the weekend that I wasn't too thrilled with.
I know. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but
such is life.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And here's the thing too: is this is another way, like with social media, there's so much information be thrown out there. Use the Chavez County Federated Republican Women, getting involved with it. Use it as one of those filters to separate what's real versus someone trying to, pardon my pee on your leg here and tell you a story. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we live in a world where media and is not very trustworthy. Even the things you consider legacy are suspect to trust. So getting involved directly in organizations like this is probably the best way to hear.
Absolutely. Come hear it firsthand and get the facts.
Absolutely. So again, 1 week from today here, tomorrow, next Wednesday.
Wednesday the 19th.
The 19th. At the Elks Lodge here.
11:30.
Everything gets underway about 11:30. If you'd like to eat, please RSVP. If you forget that day of, no progress. Quick ways to do it. If you know a Federated Republican Women, you can always call them and say, hey, mark me down. But go to the Chavez County Federated Republican Women Facebook page.
Right.
Just shoot a message or comment or anything, and one of the ladies will be happy to get you locked in.
Be happy to give my number, 575-626-6667. Give me a call.
And if you want to learn more about, you said, no, I want to do some of that assurance home and some of that. Connie will be there on Wednesday. Track her down.
I will.
And say, I want to get involved with your side. I want to work with the youth. I want to work with, that's my interests lie.
And I'm bringing 4 people that have never come to a meeting.
Well, good.
So
make. And by the way, the food's always good. So. Come hungry, come for the food, and then actually learn a bunch.
They do a great job there. Yeah, the food is just
their food.
Like I said, $17 is a cheap lunch now. So
and
it's a discount lunch.
We're challenging, all of our members to bring someone new, bring a neighbor, bring a friend. Have them come in and see what we're all about, and we'd love to have everyone. So
this is the thing: if you're not happy with the community you live in, there's only one person that can change that. It's you, and the only way you do that is to get involved. How do you get involved? Start by coming to things like this. Learn what's going on. Learn a little bit on how the sausage is made in your community, and get involved. And if you like it, support it. If you don't like it, get involved to fix it, to change it, to make it a better place.
Hey,
and this is how you do it.
Oh, and she's been working on the quilts, that we're going to be doing for Christmas. I don't sew, but I definitely was out there cutting the squares.
Yes,
and
she
we had
did
a great time.
good job.
We had.
It can be assembly line. So even if your skills aren't in the craft world, if you can follow direction a little bit, then we can train
ironing, cutting.
Yeah.
Like if you're that kid that could never stay in the lines coloring, all right, maybe we won't give you the scissors. But
Right.
It was a great time. I brought cookies, and we just all hung out together, and did what we needed to do, cut some squares.
Well, it's as much social as it is a work thing.
Yeah.
Every time there's one of these, I know with our American Legion, they do very similar with projects. Like they're one of their passions is the stuffed animals for the sheriff's department and law enforcement to keep in the cars when they come up on situations and things like that. But same skill set, logic.
Right.
The people that can't, they're kind of, you're the cutters and then the sewers and things. And you're a stuffer, you're whatever. Yeah.
You want to do a little scrapbooking, come in. You know, we'll have you cut and paste and.
It's as much social as it is the work of the of the organization.
Yeah. The quilts, we have been fortunate enough for one of our members who owns Calico Cow.
Angel May.
Angel Mays.
A Gold Star mom in our community.
Is has designated the first Thursday of the month to the Caring for America charity quilt.
That does not surprise me because that's Angel. That's you want to talk about server's heart?
Yes.
That lady's and I always brag on her on this story. I know she doesn't, but it's just proof that if y'all remember way back when all this COVID nonsense was going down, day one, those first couple weeks of all this COVID, and everybody had to shut down businesses and do, you know what Angel and Calico Cow people did? Remember everyone was trying to find masks and trying to figure out, she's like, guess what? We got materials. I got kits. We're going to have volunteers come in and make kits and get kits out. And day one, she couldn't do her day-to-day job. Most people shut down the doors, go home, watch TV like everybody else. Not her. She's getting staff in there. It's like we got fabric material. We can make masks. We can get kits to teach people to make masks. We're going to get the word. And she was in a world where no one had masks. She was getting people masks.
Oh,
and that
I remember those days.
Yeah.
You couldn't find what. I mean, it was
and I'm sure
tough to find.
I'm sure she lost a ton of money doing that stuff because that's her business. This is a mom and pop business, and every inch of fabric is important to them.
That's right.
And she gave it all away, helping out just to do her thing. So that's Angel May. So.
And she's also giving us her scraps and stuff that we can make scrap quilts with, or we can make, if it's big enough. Yes, she always does.
She is one of Roswell's finest.
Yes,
we are blessed to have
She
a person like her in our community, and she's been through a lot. Like I said, she's
Gold
Star mom, and every time you're a Gold Star, you've lost things, and she's dealt with that and using. And I'm going to take a stab that her server's heart is also her own way to heal her own heart a little bit.
Yes.
Just a hunch.
She's wonderful.
Yep.
She really is.
Absolutely. So again, more of the reason for you to come out next Wednesday. Come meet the folks. Come meet all these cool people we're talking about. Get involved. And really, and this is the same thing I say every time. If you don't like your community, there's only one person that can get involved to change. If you're waiting on a government, if you're waiting on someone else to do it, you're going to be waiting a while. This is how you do it. Get involved. Come out to these meetings. Hear what's had to say. Find things that you believe in and support them. That's the idea too. Is like I said, it's a little quiet now, but when we start seeing candidates and talk primaries and things, there's going to be people that you gravitate towards and people that you find that you really like what they have to say. This is your opportunity to get involved and do more to help them get to that next level. If you believe in what they say, we can help you get in touch to do more about it.
Absolutely. Come join us.
Absolutely. So. Did I get it all, or did we get it all? Is there anything we missed? Connie, is there anything you wanted to mention that we spaced on or didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, Angel is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the first Thursday of every month.
Excellent. Yeah, we started to do that, and I did a whole thing and got. Yeah. That happens to me quite a bit. I get sidetracked. I mean, next thing you know, I'm in Pango when we're back, supposed to be over here. So. Yeah. But you could. But come out next week, and definitely love to go by the Calico Cow on Thursdays, and again, just her doing the community stuff. So. Yeah. And come meet her if you never met her. Come meet her at the lunch, or come to the Calico Cow and meet her. But if you want, come meet her next Wednesday.
There'll be a few of us there, so come out and meet us.
Yeah, come be a part. And like I said, if you want to get more involved, there's tons of opportunities. And like I said. It's a great family thing. You can get the husband involved, get the kids involved. It is a family affair at the Chavez County Federated.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies. We'll see you. We'll see you guys next time, if not sooner. And don't work too hard. And keep more rocks in your purses and pockets. We got more windy days coming. I think.
Yes, that's very true.
But thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Extreme wind on Friday. The Roswell Solid Waste Department is making some temporary changes to their trash pickup schedule for March 12th through 14th. Wednesday, today, Southside 300-gallon alleyway containers will be collected. Thursday, regular curbside pickup for the South Side 96-gallon containers will take place as scheduled. North Side alley and curbside pickups will also take place on Thursday instead of the usual Friday pickup. To ensure rollout, 96-gallon curbside containers are not blown away on Friday. Residents are asked to secure the containers Thursday night. Measles infections have expanded into a second New Mexico county, and the current outbreak involving Texas and New Mexico includes at least 200 cases. Eddy County health officials confirming Tuesday that one person has tested positive for measles here. Lee County also adding 2 more cases Tuesday, but neither county is reporting any hospitalizations. According to state health officials, since February 1st, nearly 9,000 New Mexicans have received a measles, mumps, rubella, or MMR vaccine, compared to just over 5,300 statewide last year. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Every time you use Amazon, it learns a little more about you. It's the secret sauce fueling the world's largest online retailer. I'm Kim Commando for Home Title Lock. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and use promo code KIM250 to get the protection and peace of mind you deserve. Back in 1999, Jeff Bezos said Amazon collected about 0.5 gig of data on its customers every day. Today, we don't know exactly how much data Amazon collects, but it's a lot. Amazon tracks everything you browse, buy, watch, or ask Alexa. It also saves your call recordings with customer support, your searches, clicks, cart additions. Want to know everything Amazon has on you? You can download all your data. Head to Amazon's Privacy Central page. Once you're logged in, you can choose to download everything at once as a zip file. Click the confirmation email they sent, and then don't hold your breath. Amazon says they'll get your data to you ASAP, and if it's going to take long, they promise to let you know. Be sure to sign up for my free newsletter at getkim.com. The FBI says a new scam, house stealing, is on the rise. Criminals forge your signature, fake a notary stamp, pay a small fee, and file it with the recorder's office. Boom, your home title is no longer yours. They can then take out loans or even sell your property. When was the last time you checked your home title? For me, the answer is never. That's why I trust Home Title Lock. Their $1 million triple lock protection helps keep your home and equity safe. You get immediate 24/7 monitoring of your property, urgent alerts if there are any changes. And if fraud should happen, their U.S.-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix the fraud and restore your title at no additional cost. I've teamed up with Home Title Lock to give you a free title history report so you can find out if you're already a victim and access your personal title expert, a $250 value just for signing up. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and use my promo code KIM250 to get the protection you deserve.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Really gusty wind today. We have a low pressure area moving to our north. No rain for us. In fact, we'll stay sunny, but that wind will be kicking up to about 40 or 45 miles an hour. Afternoon high today in the mid 70s. Overnight will be clear and windy with a few gusts around 30 miles an hour. Overnight low in the upper 30s. We get another gusty day on Thursday, sunny at upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology, from managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more. DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Hope the Roswell Coyotes boys basketball players had a good night's sleep because they're going to have to get up wide awake and be ready to go. The game today, boys Class 5A quarterfinal, the state tournament, starts at 9:45, and it's Roswell, the 4th seed, playing number 12 Farmington. Roswell's 23-7 on the season. They beat Carlsbad in the previous round for the 4th time this year. Roswell, in fact, is 2-2 in their last 4 games. Both of the wins came against Carlsbad. Both of the losses came to Hobbs. Meanwhile, Farmington upset number 5 Oregon Mountain in the first round, 56-49. The guy to look out for the Scorpions, Landon Begay, a senior, averages 18.5 points per game, 3.8 assists per game, too. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM, 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. stocks fell on Tuesday, adding to the biggest sell-off in months, as investors worried about the impact of the latest tariff threats on the global economy. The premier of Canada's most populous province is suspending the 25% surcharge that Ontario imposed earlier this week on electricity exports to the United States, after speaking with the U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and agreeing to meet with him in Washington. President Trump halted doubling of tariffs on Canadian metals. U.S. job openings increased in January, but demand for labor is likely to soften in the months ahead, amid concerns that uncertainty over import tariffs and aggressive government spending cuts could cause a sharp slowdown in economic activity. Trouble for California almond growers. With more than 3/4 of California's almond crop headed for export, the tariffs could impact where the nut is headed and send ripple effects throughout the state's economy. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Coming this April 4th and 5th, the My Ashley Foundation, in cooperation with the Downtown Lions Club in Artesia, New Mexico, present their first annual golf tournament and banquet featuring guest speaker Kevin Sorbo.
Now, I am very excited to be heading to Artesia, New Mexico on April 4th, 5th, and 6th for a very special weekend with our dear friends Mark and Lorraine Richards and the incredible My Ashley Foundation. Friday night, we're going to kick off things with a very special dinner and an auction. And then on Saturday, we're going to hit the golf course, which is my favorite thing, for a day of fun, laughter, and maybe even a little competition. I do get a little competitive. And on Sunday, we're going to be gathering up for a time of worship and fellowship at Harvest Fellowship Church. You don't want to miss this. Be sure to bring your tickets. Grab them right now and join us in supporting this incredible outreach that are making a real difference in Artesia. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. God bless.
For golf reservations and sponsorships, call the ACC Pro Shop 575-746-6732. And for individual banquet tickets, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce 575-746-2744. All proceeds will go to the Artesia Lions Club and the My Ashley Foundation to support the organization's community service and outreach programs.
Hey, Roswell, need a truck? You're in luck. Now is your time to buy a new Ford truck for a lot less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. For a limited time, get massive discounts on every new Ford and quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, plus 0% APR for 72 months and no payments for 90 days. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, so we're taking care of business. Big trucks, small trucks, work trucks, we've got them all for a lot less. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your loan or lease, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you, regardless of where you're at, for oil changes, tire rotation, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. Massive savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APRs, 1389 per thousand financing. Choose to cruise from native sale on select vehicles. Straight balance refinance to loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not denied.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
I don't think I've heard that one yet. And good morning. 1 minute away from 8 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to have Roswell Independent School District Superintendent Mr. Brian Luck here in studio. We'll be chit-chatting about last night's school board meeting. That's coming up next hour. Town Hall News up next. Stick around on the other side of these on a Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Stay tuned.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump's agenda moves ahead.
On this vote, the yeas are 217, the nays are 213.
And with that vote, the House has approved a Trump-endorsed stopgap spending bill to keep the government going through the end of September. The measure holds the line on spending while advancing the president's war on government waste, fraud, and abuse. House Minority Leader Democrat Hakeem Jeffries.
We oppose this bill. We oppose this partisan effort to hurt the American people.
The Democrat rhetoric coming as no surprise to House Majority Leader Republican Steve Scalise.
And maybe it's because Donald Trump said he's for it that then the Democrat leadership decided they were going to be against it.
The lone Republican opposing the bill, Kentucky's Thomas Massie, Jared Golden of Maine, the only Democrat to vote yes. That bill now goes to the Senate. Inflation slowed last month for the first time since September. The Consumer Price Index rose 0.2%. It was a 2.8% increase compared to 1 year ago. The February CPI did come in better than economists had been expecting. Ukraine says it's open to a U.S. proposed one-month ceasefire with Russia. President Trump says that means that now the ball is in the Kremlin's court.
I'll talk to Vladimir Putin, yeah. I want to get, look, that's the other, it takes two to tango, as they say, right? So hopefully he'll also agree, and I really think that would be 75% of the way. The rest is getting it documented and, you know, negotiating land positions, etc.
So you'll talk to him this week about the deal?
So, yeah.
The White House says the president's newly imposed 25% tariffs on steel and other metals will make America wealthy again, as well as bringing jobs back home. The fresh round of tariffs has the EU promising retaliatory levies on American goods. Stocks higher on Wall Street. The Dow's up 180 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
The balloting held in the shadow of President Trump's stated goal of gaining control of the island.
Only around 40,000 people were registered to vote in this election, but it's been brought into the international spotlight because of President Trump. His desire to take over Greenland has reignited the debate about its independence. While the island is self-governing, its foreign, defence and monetary policy is controlled by Denmark. Surveys suggest a majority of Greenlanders support independence, as do most of the main political parties on the island. But while some Greenlandic politicians believe President Trump's comments could give them leverage in negotiations with Denmark, others think that retaining those ties, at least for now, could be beneficial.
The BBC's Alfie Tobit. Yemen's Houthi rebels warning shippers that any Israeli vessel traveling through nearby waters is now a target as Israel continues to block aid to the Gaza Strip. Townhall.com. Policing the police, triggering some big law enforcement changes in one Alabama community.
Huntsville, Alabama will replace its entire police department after a grand jury found a rampant culture of corruption on the force. The city council voted to suspend operations and build a new department. The decision came after the district attorney released preliminary results of an evidence room audit. Oxycodone pills, other drugs, and a handgun were missing. A grand jury in February indicted 4 officers and the police chief on a variety of charges that included accusations of mishandling or removing evidence from the department's evidence room. John Scott reporting.
NASA's newest space telescope is off on a mission to map the entire sky like never before. We'll survey the sky every 6 months. Infrared instruments expected to provide a sweeping, wide-angle cosmic view. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of the deuce of Morning Without Mike Winters, on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to your middle of the week, hump day, halfway day. The get up and go point for most of us. We're like, oh yeah, we should probably do something with this work week if we're going to actually make something of it. So yeah, Mixmaster Mike Winters is off heading towards Lubbock this morning to get his laser eyes adjusted one more time. It's a follow-up exam from the exam they had about a month ago. Just to make sure everything is on the up and up. And then he'll be sent back on his merry way. He'll be back inside your radios tomorrow morning, right back here in the captain's chair. But in the meantime, you got me, Mixmaster General, I guess. Sean Smalls inside your radios, filling the gaps on this here Wednesday morning. Quick programming note in case you are just tuning in. They're cutting us off a little early this morning, about 9:45. We're going to get cut off. We're going to be preempted by the quarterfinals of the state championship basketball tournament that's going on at the Pit starting this morning. Actually, I believe it's continuing this morning. The game is as follows. Your number 4 seed Roswell Coyotes, the boys taking on your number 12 seed Farmington, I believe Scorpions, if I picked up in the sports report. That game going down beginning at 9:45, and we will have that game right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. And we'll have audio-only coverage with the scoreboard of the game over at ksvptv.com. Just click on the Roswell Coyotes tab, and you can enjoy that game in its entirety. Also, later on this afternoon, at around 3 p.m. for you Bulldog fans, your number 2 seed Artesia Bulldogs going to be taking on the number 7 seed Valley, that in the quarterfinal. That game beginning at 3 p.m. as well. We got Art and Kelly up north at the Pit, so we'll have audio-only coverage of that game over on our sister station, AM 990 KSVP AM, and you can catch that game audio-only with scoreboard at ksvptv.com under the Bulldogs tab, and you can check out that game in its entirety. Again, audio-only coverage. We don't have rights for the video coverage of the game, so we'll just have to settle, if you will, for the audio coverage. But again, that game for Roswell Coyotes beginning at 9:45 over on ksvptv.com, and again, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Hey, real quickly, wanted to get on your radar. We've been talking a lot about the Spencer Theater and all the amazing stuff they've got coming up, but they got another experience for you. It's the experience of the magic of the Isle, the Irish Isle. It's going to be happening Saturday, March 22nd. I'm just going to stop with the accent. 7 o'clock p.m., you can enjoy Emerald Isle. It's a captivating performance featuring 20 singers and dancers, all from Ireland, performing traditional tunes and reimagined classics that span the vibrant traditions, mythical stories, and ancient sites of the Emerald Isle. Play Free Bird. Yeah, don't do that. Get your tickets today by visiting SpencerTheater.com or call the Spencer box office 575-336-4800. That's 575-336-4800. See you at the Spencer, located on Spencer Road in beautiful Alto, New Mexico. Excuse me. Coming up this hour of the program, we are going to be joined here in just a few minutes by Roswell Independent School District Superintendent Mr. Brian Luck, running down the events and happenings of the school board meeting last evening, and we'll get you the rundown coming up here in just a few minutes. Hey, coming up next hour, we're going to be sitting down chatting with the folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater, because they got this really cool event coming up. It is the Your Voice Auditions. MS Events presents Your Voice Auditions. It's open to kids ages 10 through 17, and it's coming up. It's coming up today, actually, 6 to 8 p.m. You are invited to give your best performance, a 2-minute performance. It's happening at the Roswell Community Little Theater, 1717 South Union, right here in Roswell. But we'll talk about that with the folks from the Little Theater coming up next hour on this here program. Plus all your other hourly features. I believe your Handy Update this hour or Town Hall Business. One of those is going to be playing for you, as well as whatever else comes our way on this merry Wednesday. Right now at 11 minutes after 8 o'clock, let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Really gusty wind today. We have a low pressure area moving to our north. No rain for us. In fact, we'll stay sunny, but that wind will be kicking up to about 40 or 45 miles an hour. Afternoon high today in the mid 70s. Overnight will be clear and windy with a few gusts around 30 miles an hour. Overnight low in the upper 30s. We get another gusty day on Thursday, sunny at upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 48 degrees and fair on this fair Wednesday. Humidity is at 21%. Winds picking up just a hair at about 12 miles per hour. Barometer is at 29.88 inches with a dew point of 10 degrees. Now, we're under a red flag warning for today. Mostly sunny, but areas of blowing dust, so don't worry. All that good sun we're going to be getting, it'll be blocked out or browned out, if you will. Wind gusts as high as 35 miles an hour, but steady about from the northwest, 20 to 25 miles an hour later this afternoon. So it's going to be rough today and tomorrow. It's going to be real bad on Friday. And again, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is why I got my meteorology degree for. Areas of blowing dust before 8 p.m. tonight, mostly clear, around 39 degrees for the overnight low. Winds out of the northwest between 15 and 20, becoming west 5 to 10 after midnight. Winds could gust as high as 30 miles an hour. Areas of blowing dust after 3 p.m., partly sunny for your Thursday, a high of around 76 degrees, breezy with a south wind 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming 15 to 25, and then gusts as high as 35. Thursday night, slight chance of rain showers, possibly turning into snow showers after 3 a.m. Areas of blowing snow after 3, and again, overnight low of around 41 degrees, so don't expect that snow to stick around any time. For any amount of time. Wind gusts as high as 45 miles an hour on your Thursday night, but your chance of rain is 20%. Hopefully some of the whatever moisture we get will tamp down some of the dust, but it ain't looking great. When they change the trash pickup and warn people to tie off their trash bins, you know it's going to be bad. That was what they were talking about in the news just a bit ago. But widespread blowing dust on Friday, mainly after 9 a.m. Good, they're giving us the morning off. Sunny skies, a high of around 62 degrees, windy with a west wind 25 to 30, increasing between 30 and 35 to 40. Wind gusts could get as high as 55 miles an hour. So if you've got hatches, you should batten them because it's going to be rough on this coming Friday. Mostly cloudy, 36, and windy for Friday night. A little bit of wind over the weekend, but I think it's going to start to kind of tamper off over the weekend, but it will come back in pretty solid full force starting next week as well. It's springtime in Roswell, folks. You know what we have coming to us. It's come to expect it at this point. Just wetting down your dusty spots, maybe help tamp down some of the widespread dust. And if you're feeling froggy, just go out to like one of the open roads, like 285, with like a truck full of water, and just spray down some dust. That That might help. I don't know. I'm not the solutions guy here. I'm just the ideas man. But hopefully we can get through this thing together. All right, 14 minutes after 8 o'clock. Going to pause, pay a couple of these bills, and then we'll sit down and chit-chat. I believe our guest is here with Roswell Independent School District Superintendent Mr. Brian Luck on the other side of these on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
The need for American-made energy is forecasted to increase by over 50% over the next couple of decades. Coyote Willow Energy Park is a resilient, clean, and affordable solution to this increasing demand being planned in Chavez County. Join us at the Coyote Willow Energy Park Open House to learn more about the role Chavez County can play in meeting the need for an increased supply of reliable domestic energy. The project will provide a significant amount of new local job opportunities, millions of dollars of new local tax revenue, and local investments. Plus, it helps lower greenhouse gas emissions and improves grid reliability. It's a win for the local economy and the future of Chavez County. Stop by the Chavez County Joy Center in Roswell on March 27th between 5:30 and 8 p.m. Meet the team, ask questions, and discover how Coyote Willow Energy Park is powering a brighter future for Chavez County. Visit www.coyotewillowep.com to learn more and RSVP.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Double Up days are back at Roswell Honda, and that means double your down payment. $500 becomes $1,000. $1,000 becomes $2,000. Up to $2,000 means $4,000 towards your next new or pre-owned vehicle, like a 2020 Chevy Silverado priced under $30,000, a 2022 Dodge Charger SXT slashed to under $24,000, or a 2016 Ford F-150 priced under $20,000. Double up and save during Double Up days on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
When your washer quits washing or your refrigerator quits refrigerating, life gets real quick.
A broken appliance is nothing short of an emergency. So who are you going to call? The service pros at Bush Appliance, of course. No matter what the brand, where you bought it, or where you live, the Bush Appliance repair team will be on their way ready to fix your misbehaving machine and make your world right again.
So who are you going to call?
Check out some of the Lucky 7 bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. 5-pound bags of bleached Food Club all-purpose flour are $1.77 each, and cans of Star-Kissed Chunk Light Tuna in water are 87 cents each. In produce, black or red seedless grapes are $1.97 a pound, and heads of green cabbage are 27 cents a pound. In the meat department, family packs of bone-in sirloin cut pork chops are $1.47 a pound, and family packs of fryer thighs or drumsticks are 97 cents a pound. These are just some of the Lucky 7 bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2668.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting them in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 18 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. Joining us in studio, Superintendent Mr. Brian Luck from the Roswell Independent School District. How are you doing this morning, sir?
If I was any better, I'd be one of you guys.
Let's settle down on that. Reports are still out on that one. It is definitely an interesting time. Like we've joked before, you get all 4 seasons in the springtime in Roswell, and we've experienced all of those in just the last week or so. And we got snow on the way, supposedly.
Well, sure,
of course.
Why not?
Throw that into the
mix.
Is
spring break's coming up, so sure, why not?
Any of those folks out there who decided to get a jump on their spring gardens? Yeah, sorry, but should have held out on that one. But meantime, life goes on, and the school board met once again last evening, correct?
We did.
Absolutely. So how are things? What is the state of the Roswell Independent School District?
Oh, man, that's a That's a loaded question right there. I thought we were going to talk about school board meeting. No, we had a regular meeting last night. Conducted a pretty good meeting. Went about almost 2 hours, but about right for the business that we had. We're mid-year-ish as far as our second semester goes. We've got a lot of things getting ready. We're winding up. We do have spring break coming up next week.
Next week. It's a surprise to a lot of parents. I'm like, it's spring break next week. They're really already? Yeah, it's...
Well, I tell you what. I mean, we were talking about that the other day. Somebody said something about April, and I said, oh, you mean 2 weeks? And they're like, well, what? And I said, well, you take spring break out of it. We come back and we have a week. And, I said, we're pretty close to April, guys. And then, that run and literally a sprint or a drag or however you want to look at it to get to the end of the year. And we're going to wrap this one up pretty quick.
I mean, it's crazy because it happens every year, and I'm surprised by it every single year. But January takes 47 years to get through, and then it's February, March, April, May, June, July. It just boogies for the rest of the year. But January's the longest. Whenever
I was teaching, I coached basketball, and so you would get to your football season over with, give or take, and then like the start of basketball and the end of basketball that was the chunk of the year that was the middle of the year. Mm-hmm. And then after that, there wasn't a whole lot left. I mean, you're talking maybe the end of March.
Yeah.
And like you said, April, May, and there's so much that goes on in May. The weather kicks over. We had the time change, survived all that. But it really has. It's been a good year so far. We're looking forward to wrapping this one up with hopefully some good weeks coming up our way. But no, we looking forward to this break. Like we were talking off mic about the weather. That was one of our key discussions last night was, we had an event last week where we had a couple days where may or may not have been too smart to be out on the highways or buses getting out. And we discussed that with the board with my senior team there last night as well. And had a good conversation, some good feedback. We had some good phone calls, had some bad phone calls from some parents. Kind of a regular day in my office, but, just kind of presented to everybody that, as far as our primary goal always will be to stay in school and to do that as much as possible. But, we are, I did get accused of putting test scores over kids' safety, and that, I'll be honest, that one made me mad. That one got me. Normally I'm pretty things can flow off of me, but that one got me. And I was just like, my job is to worry about your kids' education, but I'm not going to do that at the risk of their safety. So kind of went over the process last night as to what we look at, how we go about things. We did do an early release last week for one day, and it was quick. It was a fast turnaround because storm kind of comes in really fast, and we had a little bit of a break in it, and did what we could to try to get everybody gone. I think the biggest thing that I'd like to get across to parents too is when and if we do something like that, we're not just going to lock the door and kick your kid out.
Right.
If it takes you a while to get there, or you don't get there until much later, that's okay. Mm-hmm. But as far as those that can, we're looking to try to get people back home.
Sure.
Off the highway. Our buses get really interesting. So the two bus companies that we work with, Hamel Transportation and Pollard, they've got two phenomenal individuals running those companies. And I brought this up last night with the board. I was like, I have been told no by the bus company before, and
and it's their discretion ultimately. They are the ones who are going to put their drivers out there, so they're going to make the call.
Well, and you don't necessarily think about it, but like our 3Y program over at Parkview, those kids are door to door. So those buses will come to those houses. They'll stop in front of the house. They'll turn their flashers on, and they'll sit there. And the aide will get off the bus. They'll walk up to the fence or to the door or to the sidewalk, and they'll get the kid, take them by the hand, and get them on the bus. That's an extended period of time for those kids to be in harm's way. And what was our goal the other day was we'd still like the flashers on the bus to be visible. Mm-hmm. And that was the comment that the bus company made. They said we couldn't see them.
It was last week. It was so bad. Mike made the comment last week that this was the afternoon. We were sitting here. I was in my office, he in here. And he looked out the window and we literally couldn't see the SunWest building. From 3 blocks away, we couldn't see. It was completely browned out. So, I mean, to think about putting drivers and kids in those conditions, obviously we have to make decisions like early release. We have to make sure that that the kids' safety is the utmost priority.
Right.
Honestly. And it's hard to predict those things in advance.
Well, no, I made the comment last night. You were saying this a minute ago, kind of jokingly, but I mean, we've all kind of turned into amateur weather prognosticators.
Yeah, we really have.
And everyone says, well, the app that I'm using, and so I laugh whenever somebody will say, well, my app says this, and I always want to know which one.
Mm-hmm.
And not because I don't believe them, but I'm like, hey, man, I'm up for anything.
Sure.
I got tickled yesterday. I had an individual call, and they're like, well, they're calling for 200-mile-an-hour winds and all these crazy things. And I said, okay. And so I walked through it with him. I said, look, I have 5 different weather apps on my phone. I said, and there's one on my computer that I use that I really, really like. I think it's in Microsoft Edge. And I said, I can look right now, and according to this prediction right here, it'll give me the wind speeds from now until like next Thursday, Friday, something like that.
Right.
I said, I'm not saying what you're telling me is not true. I'm just simply telling you that the one that I use that has been fairly consistent is not showing me that. We're looking, and everybody says, well, at this mile an hour, you need to do this. Okay. It might have been Wednesday, Thursday last week where it was supposed to start blowing really early. Well, it didn't do it.
And it didn't. Yeah.
It didn't. And I was like, okay, that one would have hurt me as far as like if we had gone virtual or we had made a plan for that.
That's just like the school district to jump ahead of the gun.
Exactly.
You're never going to satisfy everybody.
And you know what? I struggle with that just because that's my personality.
Sure.
But we're working on it. So did get some good insight from the board last night as far as like, hey, let's kind of get a little preemptive with, our notices to the parents. Like, hey, they're calling for winds from 20 to 30 gust at this particular time. There is a chance. You're always free to not send your kid, but we're gonna try to go as often as possible.
Absolutely, and you want to make you want to provide the school day for the kid, but ultimately, parents, it is your discretion if you want to. Just because school is in session, you don't have to send them to school if you don't think it's in their best interest on that day.
Yeah. Well, and I had one last night that I had not thought of, and ironically, the parent hadn't called, but it was. Okay, they were perfect attendance other until I did that. Like their parents said, "You're not going to go to school on this day," and I said, yeah. And if you feel strong enough that it's not safe, in your opinion, that's a good enough reason to not have perfect attendance in my book. But ultimately, we're going to use the Chaves County Sheriff as far as the roads out in the south part of the county, the school resource officers that we have, and then another suggestion that I thought was a pretty good one was actually. It may sound kind of dumb, but almost more like some weather spotters, like some members of my crew that get out and say, okay, I am sitting at this intersection right here.
Sky-warned weather.
And here's your visibility. That being said, it still isn't, it's never an easy thing to send kids home early. And we're also going to meet with the principals this morning about, okay, in the event that we do have to do like a virtual day, we're going to need to do a better job as far as making sure that the product that we're providing is as close to equal to being in person, which is tough. I mean, that we did almost a full year of that. And
it's one of those systems that you feel like we spent so much time in it with the, with the pandemic that we almost perfected the virtual learning system. But then sort of once we took Chromebooks back and the system sort of went back to normal, it's kind of a relearn process,
Yeah. Well, and I think we still have several of the components. I know, especially at the secondary schools.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as worried about the high schools and the mid schools as much as I am like my second and third graders, where there's no substitute for that teacher. And obviously we would love for those to be few and far between when we have them. But I mean, even sitting in the lobby a second ago, and granted, next week is spring break. So, but on the WeatherBug app, I found 4 days next week that have forecasted between 20 and 25. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking going, okay, boy, if you knock out 3 days a week, guys, it doesn't take very long before you've missed 2 weeks of school. And that's tough.
Yeah. Especially when, and we've gone over it, there's the system, the way it's set up is it's this many number of days that are required.
Right.
And, that has to be met. So to have a situation like that, it really does. Yeah, it puts a kink in things for sure.
Well, and I think you made a comment a while ago. I was driving in. You're talking about the potential for some moisture coming our way, and even that right now, everybody's a little on edge with that. because of our last, and I got to think about that. I don't know that it's rained. If it's rained twice since the flood, I don't think so.
We've had a couple of sprinkle days, but nothing serious. And yeah, that's understandable that when clouds start to gather, people in this area start to get a little gun shy. But we do need the moisture. Anything we can get.
Oh yes, we do. And I think that would be huge because you had a little bit of moisture that would hold some of that down. You could take some of those winds again, but it is what it is, and we're ready to address it and move forward, and we're going to do the best we can.
Absolutely.
So
it's one of those things, situations where you just have to assess it as it comes and pivot from there.
Yeah. The irony to it, I try to talk a lot with my directors and my coordinators, and in those meetings, I'll bring up stuff that really does not impact their departments. Mm-hmm. And, you can sit on their face like, why are you telling me this?
Right.
And my comment is so that you can take out the truth. you can take the truth out, and it can maybe grow legs and walk around just like great rumors do. Mm-hmm. So like for my businesses that might be listening right now, our standard number, give or take, is about 25 miles an hour straight, 30 miles an hour straight for out-of-town trips. So like our baseball, our golf, our tennis, our track right now, there's people that have made plans. They've gone to their bosses. Their kids are going to go do this or they're going to go do that. Mm-hmm. And then kind of the last minute, bam, we reschedule or we cancel. I can assure you, Mr. Cooper has 2 great big calendars in his office for March and April. Mm-hmm. And there's not very many days and there's not very many places that you can do reschedule for like your extracurricular stuff. Right. So, the last thing we ever want to do is cancel or reschedule because I know the kink that throws in. Mm-hmm. You've got the track schedule and you've made your vacation plans or your doctor visits,
right.
And poof, now we have to reschedule something and it does. It's tough. And we realize that. So like I said, every effort that can possibly be made to not do that is being done. But, we're moving forward. Like I said, if it just rain, that usually the wind kind of dies down. If it could just rain,
just a little bit, and honestly, the problem with the flood, and I made this comment to a friend the other day. The problem with the flood is it came through and washed, millions of gallons of water, and then it just all went away. We didn't have time to absorb it.
Right.
It didn't get sucked in as for like soil purposes and things, and it did more devastation than any good it could have done. So. We need sustained moisture that will tamp some stuff down for a little bit. That's what we need.
Well, and Mother Nature will take care of her job, and I just got the faith right there that everything will take care of itself like it's supposed to. But did shift gears after we had our conversation about the weather last night. Talked a little bit about money and enrollment and planning for the future for us as far as looking at our numbers. We're anywhere from 8,500 to 9,000 to 8,200 kiddos, depending on the time of year, and that's about right for us. That's that for our district. We're give or take about the 8th largest district in the state, and our funding comes from numbers. Right. So when different things happen or different entities open, we face some competition with that, and that's good. We like good competition.
Sure.
But those do have impact on our budget. We're always watching that. We're making sure that our staffing numbers don't exceed what we need them to be. We're trying to be good stewards with the public money and making sure that that's happening. Our budget process is coming up, getting ready to build our budget for next year.
Always a fun time.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You ever played Tetris? Let's see how we can fit all this in.
Pretty much. The interesting. So we're 60-day legislative session that's coming to a close. I think I read last night 11 days left. Yeah, we had an update yesterday from a group that provides us updates on bills, and God bless our lawmakers up there, man. Whether you agree with them or disagree with them, I mean,
they're putting the work in for sure.
They are doing that, and you'll see a report, and they're talking about a Sunday meeting or a session that happened. That's time away. And yes, they did sign up for that job,
right.
But that still doesn't make it an easy job. Exactly. So, a huge thank you to them. A little bit of one of the bills that would come out has a little bit of changing in the funding formula. The standard advice that I've always been given is just wait till it's over and let them tell you exactly, how the sausage is made for you, and versus trying to pick what the things in the bill that you like or that you don't like, and then trying to do all these great grandiose things, and then it doesn't pass or it doesn't make it out of committee. But we're looking forward to that. Our like I said, our counts are about average to where they should be right now. So
I know we got a lot of irons in the fire as far as like expansion, new school construction. There's a lot of things
Right.
where the money is allocated and it has to go. So
well, and the cool thing about that, and that's the testament to the people that have come before me, the superintendents and the school boards. When we lock in for those buildings, we're locked in. So like our projects that are coming due, our Mountain View project, which is coming up next after Nancy Lopez, we're squared away on that funding. Those rates are there. They're squared away. It's almost like a mortgage rate.
right.
And even with our Washington Avenue project, which comes after Mountain View, we've got that funding in a good spot. And I'm really happy with where those things are at, and it's going to provide the ability to do that for us. If you've lived in this area long enough, you know that it's an ebb and a flow, and there will come a time when we'll have our drop.
Yeah.
And my job with that is just to make sure that the district is in solid shape when that comes up, and I feel like we're going to be there. So.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the student rate's going to rise, it's going to drop, and obviously, that's going to be a moving situation. But as long as the funds are allocated where they need to be, then that's really the important thing. But once we get to the budget, that's when you got to hash out the zeros and the ones, all the little intricacies, the nitnoid details, as Mike likes to say, and so that'll be a fun time for you guys.
If you're a number guy, my primary goal with that is to make sure that from year to year that people don't notice a major difference, whether that be, obviously you would love for them to say, boy, you did a much better job.
Right.
But as far as the budget piece to it, no one was really nailed with, boy, I ran out of money, that kind of a thing. So, from year to year, my hope is that the principals really say, boy, I didn't see a big difference.
One of my favorite quotes of all time it's actually from the show Futurama. They say, when you do things right, people won't know that you've done anything at all. And that really resonates. Like, if you do things exactly the right way, things will be just as they are. Not great, not horrible. It'll stay the same.
I wake up most days trying to live my life right now to stay out of the paper. And that's basically kind of along the same lines as if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, people, like you said, might not ever even know who you are, where you're at, or what you're doing.
Right.
And then, it's our job really to kind of tout the really good things. But no, that resonates. And I agree with that 100%, especially when it comes to the money. That we want to make sure that's huge for us with 85 to 90% of our budget being instruction, and that's primarily salaries and benefits and instructional materials that go directly into the kids. That's huge for us and this board, and they want to make sure that we stay with that.
With everything being kind of just as all over the place, up and down, stability is it's kind of out of whack right now. Having that stability and that steady track, that's key. That's huge. I mean, that's a sign that you guys are doing what you're supposed to.
I think so. And I'm going to give every bit of credit to the people that are doing our work in the business office, and then to my board, as far as they've set the tone for that, and I appreciate that, as far as making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing with the resources that we've been given, and I way do appreciate that. A couple other things. We did talk a little bit about some community school partnership updates. So we've got 4 different schools in our district that are deemed designated community schools, which means that there's a few other resources that kind of come through them. One of them last night that was discussed was the food bank. So once a month. And the one that just kind of jumps out at me is Sierra, because I always seem to be driving by Sierra when they do that. And it is
I have to go pick my kid up during the food drive.
It is a blessed nightmare. I mean, but to see the organization, the kids, the usefulness and the benefits that our kids get out of that, it's huge.
Yeah.
So hats off, Kristen Sayers and her crew working with community schools and the work that they're doing there. That's coming up. I don't know the exact date as far as the distributions, but
I want to say it's maybe the week after spring break. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know it just went. We just had one Not last week, but the week before. Just because I had to go pick my daughter up. I saw the line.
The first one I ever saw, I'm driving by, and literally it looked like a ball game in the middle of the day, like a really big ball game. And I mean, I freaked out, and I spun around, did a U-turn, and get over and right in the middle of it, and I messed the line up terribly. But it concerned me because I was just like, oh, what is this?
What's happening? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, don't you know this? And I was like, no, I don't. But thank you for telling me. And
I do now.
I do, and I'll put that on a calendar, and I will avoid this place at all costs on that day.
Right.
But
if possible, take alternate routes because traffic really gets tight over there.
Well, and the Miss Savage was talking last night about the kids and how we use the kids to help with that, and we're going to bring them in, I think, at the April meeting, the kids that have helped with those and kind of give them a little bit of love for the work that they're doing. So great work provided by her team there at the district. Went over just a couple other basic things. Have had a request by some of the board to start with policy 1 and work our way all the way to policy infinity, kind of one at a time. So last night we just went through the original walking papers for board policy and some of the key points that go with that. We talked, and I kind of laughed. I said, well, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with personnel? Do you want to start with finance? And board president said, I want to start with policy number 1. And I was like, okay. So we'll start with probably get through maybe 1 through 5 next time. And then every board meeting have a few more to kind of go over so that the board is doing their diligence and staying constant with up to changes, et cetera, like that.
And that's really good. I admire the fact that I've been a part of boards, and I've seen people who are like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. They're like, let's just get through this meeting. And then there's those people like, okay, hold on, let's take our time. Let's get through things the way it should be from start to finish. And you admire the attention to detail.
Well, and what I liked about it was, as an entity, they were like, they're always wanting to know the different things. Well, tell me about this or tell me about that. And so even last night still, there were several abbreviations that are listed within the policy that I'll be honest, I mean, I knew they were important, but as far as the specifics to what each one of those meant, I had not a clue. Right. So we're going through it, and it broke down what each of the abbreviations meant and what an exhibit is. And so, like I said, I commend them for doing that and staying up to date as much as possible. Absolutely. But did have a quick legislative update with some of the bills that we're watching. There is Senate Bill 242, which is advancing the science of reading. Roswell is huge with the science of reading. We've had a lot of work, and actually a lot of our educators were called to talk about that the other day. That one kind of impacts Dr. Powell a little bit more than it really does us, as far as putting a lot of onus on the colleges to make sure that they're teaching the science of reading to our new teachers. S Bill 235, which is a math bill. A couple other ones. There was one, I want to say 465, SB 465. Yes, SB 465 that came out the other day. That one was a big one because it actually was going to kind of limit the powers that the NMAA had, and would have actually allowed people to attend like private preparatory sports institutions and maintain eligibility at the public high school level as well. That one got tabled. There was a pretty big push back from the Superintendent's Association that basically said, we didn't really care for that. And then the other piece to that one was that larger populated areas would receive larger representation. So pretty much Albuquerque could do basically whatever Albuquerque wanted to do. Of course. And I will commend those that spoke up on that. There was across the state. I mean, there was the superintendent from Gadsden, the superintendent from Hobbs. Mr. Cooper sits on a board with the athletic directors. Their representative spoke. So like I said, that one, I was very happy that one did not advance. I do think there will be a time and a place where some of the key factors that were in that bill probably will. Mm-hmm. But the way that one was actually crafted, it wasn't very well written.
It's sometimes the NMAA can get pretty heavy-handed, I feel like, especially considering that more often than not, and again, prove me wrong, Big Blue seems to find its way to the South 40 more often than not. So maybe there should be a little more attention put down here, you know?
Well, and it's interesting that you say that. I actually wrote a letter, and it was, you know, transparency. It was one of the first ones that I've ever written that said basically like, hey, I don't support this. And I don't support it on behalf of the school versus just me as an individual. And I sent it to my coaches, and I had a coach that responded and said, yeah, but some of what's in here we kind of like. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay. And so I went and visited with them, and when you have one entity that is the final decision-making factor, and you know, more often than not, you are probably going to come up on the short end, especially when you're dealing with appeals or different things like that. The part that I liked about it, though, was that it kept, at least if you know their set of guidelines and you know their set of rules and standards, as long as they will stay consistent with those rules and standards, I have no problem, you know, playing by, if everybody's playing by the same set of rules, I have no problem with that. But kind of like what you're saying, when it does yield the impression every now and then that those rules don't necessarily pertain to south of a particular geographical a barrier, that's a tough deal. So if I could real quick, I want to kind of follow up with what you were talking about a while ago. We do have Roswell High School fixing to come up here in about an hour. So I'm sure they're already at the pit.
Exactly an hour.
Getting ready to go. If you've never been up there to one of those ball games, that is such an experience. And I know state cheer and dance has its own vibe and its own feel, and state football, but there's nothing like state basketball.
Yeah.
It
the
just
pit's
has
just a fantastic facility.
That venue, and you put, you know, especially when you get to Saturday, and you're probably going to be looking at, you know, anywhere from, you know, 9,000 to 12,000 people in that thing, cheering for a high school for a 16-year-old kiddo. To go out there and to you know, have fun and to play a game, you just can't compete with that.
So many, you know, important eyes going to be on these games too. So, you know, these are the time for our players to shine.
Oh yeah, well, and I do want to give a shout out to our athletic department, Mr. Cooper, Mr. Trujillo, and the coaches. I was trying to think of the last time that we had all of our basketball teams qualify for state competition. I'm sure somebody out there says, "Oh, that was such and such," and that's cool. I'm glad they can do that, but I can't.
Right.
And you know, that's a testament to the coach, to the parents, to the players. Basketball's a grind. You hit every holiday. You hit Thanksgiving and Christmas and President's Day and this day and that day, and it is a bit of a grind. But
look, I don't want to disrespect any of our student athletes at all. Football's an amazing sport, and it gets a lot of attention. Those dudes get breaks between downs. I'm just saying, when you're playing basketball, it is go, 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 constant. And that is, it's definitely a grind. So hats off to those kids.
Well, if you played like I did, I set the bench quite a bit. So, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of running around during the game for me, but, you know, it's neat to see, and it's neat to see them get up there. And I tell my coaches that all the time. It's never a bad day when you end your season at the pit.
Absolutely.
Or in Albuquerque.
Absolutely.
Whether, you know, if you're playing at a lower level and maybe you're up at Bernalillo, I think, you know, I was looking this morning just quickly at some of the private schools in town, and you know, we still love them. And we had several of them that made it up into state competition as well. And thank you to the organizations and the businesses that have sponsored those kids. You know, $50, $200, $300, and we got a sign in the window. You know, that's not unnoticed, for at least for me specifically. So thank you to all of the people that have helped get the kids there. Thank you to Gene and to your organization for broadcasting those games.
Oh, stop. We do what we can. we do what they'll let us do. We'll put it that way.
Well, and look, we were talking off mic too, is, you know, I guarantee you the people here would way prefer your crew being up there videoing that game right now. But I know if it's Kelly and Art, they're going to paint a good picture for you.
Yep, 100%. So that game coming up 9:45. We'll have that for you right here on 106.5 and online, ksvptv.com under the Coyotes tab.
Yeah.
Thanks for the free plug.
Well, hey, always will do it.
Love it. Do we get it all?
I think so. All right.
Well, then there you go. I mean, the state of the independent school district, and I brought this up to somebody the other day. There's been a lot of, you know, what's going on with the education system. The fact that Roswell has an independent school district. We're independent. We work outside of the realms of everybody else's rule book, for lack of a better term. it keeps us safe during times like these, I feel like.
Well, the newspaper came up and asked me last night as far as, okay, with the changes in the federal level with the Department of Education, how does that impact you? And I said, well, officially, yes, officially. And I said, I have no idea. And I'm not saying that flippantly either. Right now, I mean, I can speculate.
Sure.
But I also know this. We do receive federal dollars, which has to come from that particular entity. Yeah. Some of our food money, some of our special education money, and then other federal grants. And we really try very hard, minus those two, to not have to depend on federal funding out of grants to operate. Off mic.
Do you want me to turn these off real quick?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. Well, with her, my
we'll
comment.
Go dead air for a quick
sure. And then you can go, oh, my gosh. No, I do know this. That money will have to flow through someplace.
Mm-hmm.
So in the absence of the federal government being the key factor, my immediate turn to would probably be the state.
Sure.
Do I know that? I don't. And again, being in the middle of a legislative session, a lot of the people that I'm going to depend on to be watching that are preoccupied with legislative business. Mm-hmm. So we haven't had a whole lot of guidance like, okay, be ready for this, be ready for that. Kind of the walking papers that we've been given is just monitor.
Yeah.
And, always just great advice anytime is always know where your money's coming from and always have a plan.
Right.
And my finance guy and I have talked a little bit about that. We have a plan. But that's hoping that we're close to the guests.
Sure.
And we'll monitor it too. I think the story on the news a while ago was 50% of the employees being cut. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, that's 2,000 people. And then I kind of laughed. I was like, if your full staff was 4,000 people for the entire nation, it's not a lot of people, really and truly. So
it's
not
big country people. I mean, that's not a lot.
Well, when you look proportionally, we could have 4,000 people involved in the state highway here in New Mexico. So that's not a lot.
Right. But it's a situation that we will monitor and, juke and jive as we need to. It's like, playing football. You got to, move as the situation presents itself. You guys are doing a great job.
We overcome. We improvise. I think I saw that in the movie once.
Well, Superintendent, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you back here next month.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully it'll be Mike in this chair.
Hopefully
I figured it out. His exact eye exam schedule were on the exact days that you were going to come in. So it worked out the way it did. But
I see the pattern there. Pun intended.
I think he's avoiding you. I don't know. You might just take it up with him. That's a him thing. But thanks so much for your time, Superintendent.
Yes,
we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
8 away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with some local news.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. With the weather forecast that includes extreme wind on Friday, the Roswell Solid Waste Department is making some temporary changes to their trash pickup schedule for March 12th through 14th. Wednesday, today, Southside 300-gallon alleyway containers will be collected. Thursday, regular curbside pickup for the Southside 96-gallon containers will take place as scheduled. North Side alley and curbside pickups will also take place on Thursday instead of the usual Friday pickup. To ensure rollout, 96-gallon curbside containers are not blown away on Friday. Residents are asked to secure the containers Thursday night. Measles infections have expanded into a second New Mexico county, and the current outbreak involving Texas and New Mexico includes at least 200 cases. Eddy County health officials confirming Tuesday that one person has tested positive for measles here. Lee County also adding 2 more cases Tuesday, but neither county is reporting any hospitalizations. According to state health officials, since February 1st, nearly 9,000 New Mexicans have received a measles, mumps, rubella, or MMR vaccine, compared to just over 5,300 statewide last year. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Hope the Roswell Coyotes boys basketball players had a good night's sleep because they're going to have to get up wide awake and be ready to go. The game today, boys Class 5A quarterfinal, the state tournament, starts at 9:45, and it's Roswell, the 4th seed, playing number 12 Farmington. Roswell's 23-7 on the season. They beat Carlsbad in the previous round for the 4th time this year. Roswell, in fact, is 2-2 in their last 4 games. Both the the wins came against Carlsbad. Both of the losses came to Hobbs. Meanwhile, Farmington upset number 5 Oregon Mountain in the first round, 56-49. The guy to look out for the Scorpions, Landon Begay, a senior, averages 18.5 points per game, 3.8 assists per game, too. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM, 106.5.
Have you spent a lot of time trying to whiten your teeth with no real success? Here at Carabelli Dental, we have a solution. Get that perfect smile you've always wanted with veneers. Veneer treatment is quick and minimally invasive and will provide you with a confident smile in just a couple easy steps. You deserve to love your smile, so don't let another day pass you by without calling us to start the smile design process.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Really gusty wind today. We have a low pressure area moving to our north. No rain for us. In fact, we'll stay sunny, but that wind will be kicking up to about 40 or 45 miles an hour. Afternoon high today in the mid 70s. Overnight will be clear and windy with a few gusts around 30 miles an hour. Overnight low in the upper 30s. We get another gusty day on Thursday, sunny at upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished lower yesterday in what was a choppy session overall. The NASDAQ Composite coming off its worst day since September of 2022 on Monday. Yesterday, more of a seesaw back and forth affair, part of the market's ongoing concern over tariffs and trade. President Trump put additional levies on Canadian steel and aluminum after Ontario moved to increase tariffs on electricity. That move from Ontario's PM since rescinded. The S&P, it traded mostly flat, but did go into positive territory at one point throughout the session yesterday. Word of a potential 30-day ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia boosted sentiment on Wall Street, as the market generally doesn't like geopolitical unrest. Economic data, the February NFIB Small Business Optimism Index came in at the slowest level in 5 years. Respondents citing various macroeconomic pressures. Job openings rose in January, pointing to stability for the labor market. And in company-specific news, companies that have exposure to travel were sluggish amid the ongoing recession concerns, talking about Delta Airlines, Airbnb, and Disney. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The main event car show and cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiasts, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Logitech.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Are you ready to succeed? The School of Arts and Sciences at ENMU Roswell covers a broad curriculum. The certificates and degrees offered within these programs will prepare students to realize personal, professional, and occupational objectives, from ag science and agricultural technology to behavioral science, biology, bookkeeping and accounting, business administration, criminal justice, education, and mathematics. ENMU Roswell can set you up for success. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio. KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Stay tuned. Next hour, we got the folks from Roswell Community Little Theater on A Morning Without. Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Senate Republicans optimistic they'll be able to pass a Trump-endorsed continuing resolution to keep the government up and running through September.
Senator Marsha Blackburn says there's only one reason for Democrats not to support the bill.
Schumer wants another Schumer shutdown.
Because she says he's hoping that would make President Trump and the Republicans look bad.
But he's just so wrong on this.
Wrong about how the voting public would respond to a shutdown. After all, Blackburn says poll after poll shows
the American people agree with the steps that we're taking to get this economy back on track.
A vote is expected as soon as Republicans can muster the handful of Democrat votes they'll need to get the bill over the finish line. Bob Agnew reporting.
Europeans, apparently the Canadians as well, promising retaliatory tariffs on American goods now that President Trump's 25% levies on steel and other metals imports have taken effect. The president, though, holding tight to his pro-tariff stance.
In the face of tumbling stock prices and increased worries about a recession, the White House says the president is unwavering in his approach to tariffs and trade. Asked about the recent Wall Street losses, the president said markets are going to go up and down. He went on to say that he believes what his administration is doing is the right thing to do, even if it means a little, in his words, disturbance. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Democratic U.S. Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire announcing that she is not going to be running for re-election. Inflation cooled a bit last month, according to the government's Consumer Price Index. Prices rose 0.2% in February, the smallest month-to-month increase in 7 months. It was a better showing than economists had been expecting. And on Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 329 points, the Nasdaq 79 points higher, and the S&P is 7 points lower. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
The U.S. is not alone in grappling with serious immigration challenges.
The European Union wants to set up return hubs in third countries to send rejected asylum seekers. In a new migration proposal unveiled Tuesday, the EU also wants to step up deportations. The EU Commission says only about 20% of people with a return order are effectively removed from EU territory. The proposal would set a standard for all 27 EU member countries and allow national authorities from one country to enforce the deportation order issued by another. But for the proposal to work, a deportee's country of origin would have to agree to readmit its citizen. I'm Donna Warder.
The captain of a cargo ship that collided with a U.S. tanker is a Russian national who remains in UK police custody. The vessel's owner confirms 59-year-old man is a Russian who led a mixed crew of Russians and Filipinos. He was arrested yesterday on suspicion of manslaughter by gross negligence. townhall.com. The security clearances of former Biden administration officials have been pulled.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard also revoked the security clearances of the 51 former intelligence officials who signed the letter calling the Hunter Biden laptop Russian disinformation. Gabbard also announced that former President Biden is no longer receiving the president's daily brief, a summary of intelligence issues. Also included in the revocation, Antony Blinken, Jake Sullivan, Lisa Monaco, Mark Norman Eisen, Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, and Andrew Weissman. Tasha Stevens reporting.
A Texas appeals court halting the execution of a man who has spent more than 30 years on death row and had been set to die by lethal injection this week. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals issuing a stay of execution for 67-year-old David Wood, convicted in the killings of 6 girls and young women. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3, Tres Inviernos of a Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, halfway day, whatever day you want to call it. Just so long as you get up, you get at them, and doggone it, you make it your day. That's really all we can ask of you these days. Hopefully you are going to keep the rocks in your pocket breezy today, but the real story comes tomorrow and Friday. We're going to be really hammered with it on Friday. We'll get you up to date with the weather forecast coming up here in just a few moments. But you don't need a meteorology degree to tell you that it's going to be blowing. And again, it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. And in our area, it's a lot of dust. So Friday is going to be another one of those days. It's going to suck because it's going to blow, but we'll get through it together as we always do. I will tell you that they are kind of altering the trash pickup here in the Roswell area due to the high winds and due to some of the inclement weather changes. For the breakdown of that, I don't have that in front of me, but I believe everything's getting pushed back either half a day or a full day. Try to make adjustments as you see fit. And for the folks who have the roll-off trash containers, do your best to secure those to something, either with zip ties or something, before Friday, because again, those trash cans will be picked up by that wind and will be blown any which direction. So we're gonna get through it together, folks. We just we got to get through the windy season, and then we'll be on our way. The good news is it's Wednesday, and so I feel like we finally reached that point where the time change is kind of starting to make sense, and the fact that the sun is still up at 7 o'clock in the evening, it's starting to kind of normalize a little bit. So hopefully you have gotten past your post-time change willies and have made it out on the other side successfully. We have a few things to get to this hour of the program, but I do want to tell you about our friends over at H&R Block, because they are giving you the chance to win some fantastic prizes this tax season. So if you haven't done your taxes just yet, H&R Block, our friends at H&R Block are the folks to see. And they also want to let you know they're giving special rates for the folks who are impacted by the floods and by the storms of the last year or so. So H&R Block here in Roswell is the place to go, And while you're there, you also want to get signed up to win some great prizes because they got some fantastic ones to give away, including a big screen TV. I'm trying to find the read here, but go see the folks over at H&R Block right there on Main Street, right across from I believe it is the right across from the Bloxworth Galbraith. There, they are set up and ready to help you this tax season. Go see them and make sure to mention that we sent you over there. Hey, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program. Coming up here in just a few minutes, around 9:15 or so, we'll be sitting down with folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater, chatting about an event that's going to be happening tonight at the Roswell Community Little Theater. It's your chance to let the kids' voice shine through. So if you have a kid age 10 to 17 and they've got the gift, well, it's time to put that gift to use. We'll be sitting down, chatting with Dana Sanchez and Denise Jackson from the Roswell Community Little Theater coming up here in just a few minutes and getting you all informed about how you can make your voice heard. Well, my voice is slowly but surely starting to fall away. 10 minutes after 9 o'clock, let us pause for a moment and get you up to date with the weather. Spoiler alert, it's going to suck.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Really gusty wind today. We have a low pressure area moving to our north. No rain for us. In fact, we'll stay sunny, but that wind will be kicking up to about 40 or 45 miles an hour. Afternoon high today in the mid 70s. Overnight will be clear and windy with a few gusts around 30 miles an hour. For 30s, we get another gusty day on Thursday, sunny at upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently at 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let me get this weather refreshed here so we can get you up to date with the latest. 53 degrees and fair around Roswell Way. Wind speed or humidity is at 20% with wind speed at around 7 miles per hour. Calm right now, but again, it's going to get bad. We've actually been upgraded to a red flag wind watch. That's a lot of weird words. For the rest of today, areas of blowing dust, they're now calling for gusts as high as 40 to 45 miles an hour. But sunny otherwise, when you can see the sun, a high of around 73 degrees. The wind, though, tells the real story. Areas of blowing dust after 8 p.m. this evening as well. Mostly clear, dropping down to 39 for the overnight low. Winds 15 to 20 miles an hour, becoming west 5 to 10 after midnight. And wind gusts, again, could get as high as 30 miles an hour. For your Thursday, you've got areas of blowing dust after 3 p.m., partly sunny, a high of around 78 degrees. It's going to be breezy once again. Winds 15 to 25, gusts up to 35. And like we said, Thursday night, going to be, pretty much the same thing. Winds up to 45 miles an hour. Chance of rain, though, in the area is about 20% with an overnight low of 41 degrees. So semi-good news there. For your Friday, though, here we go. Widespread blowing dust. Widespread blowing dust. That's mostly going to be after 9 a.m. Sunny skies and 62 for the high. The winds are going to be blowing out of the west, 25 to 30 miles an hour, steady, increasing between 35 to 40. And again, that's steady winds. But the gusts could get as high as 55 miles per hour. So bear that in mind as we head into Friday. Make adjustments to schedules as you see fit. Mostly cloudy, dropping down to 36 for the overnight low on Friday night. Mostly sunny and a high of 60 for your Saturday, 67 for Sunday. It looks like the wind's going to at least take the weekend off. But a few days next week, as we talked about with Superintendent Brian Luck, during your spring break are going to be a bit blowy. So plan accordingly, maybe inside activities for that day. 13 minutes after 9 o'clock, I'm going to pause, pay a couple of these bills. And after these, we're sitting down and chatting with the folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater about what's happening tonight on the other side of these on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Hey you, Seth Pena at Richland Auto. It's March Madness at Richland Dodge, and we're not talking about basketball, but amazing deals on vehicles. It's game on for a used car sale at Richland on Southeast Main. Score big on a wide selection of high-quality used cars at unbeatable prices. With over 100 vehicles to choose from, all with mad savings and special financing options. So take advantage of our madness. At the Richland Dodge used car sale, get a slam dunk deal on your dream car. It's only at Richland Dodge, March 13th through the 15th at 1309 Southeast Main Street.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Coming this April 4th and 5th, the My Ashley Foundation, in cooperation with the Downtown Lions Club in Artesia, New Mexico, present their first annual golf tournament and banquet featuring guest speaker Kevin Sorbo.
Now, I am very excited to be heading to Artesia, New Mexico on April 4th, 5th, and 6th for a very special weekend with our dear friends Mark and Lorraine Richards and the incredible My Ashley Foundation. Friday night, we're going to kick off things with a very special dinner and an auction. And then on Saturday, we're going to hit the golf course, which is my favorite thing, for a day of fun, laughter, and maybe even a little competition. I do get a little competitive. And on Sunday, we're going to be gathering up for a time of worship and fellowship at Harvest Fellowship Church. You don't want to miss this. Be sure to bring your tickets. Grab them right now and join us in supporting this incredible outreach that are making a real difference in Artesia. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. God bless.
For golf reservations and sponsorships, call the ACC Pro Shop 575-746-6732. And for individual banquet tickets, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce 575-746-2744. All proceeds will go to the Artesia Lions Club and the My Ashley Foundation to support the organization's community service and outreach programs.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 16 minutes after 9 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. Joining me in studio this morning, Miss Dana Sanchez and Denise Jackson from the Roswell Community Little Theater. How are you ladies doing this morning?
We're doing good. Good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's an exciting time. Obviously, the wind is the star of the show for this week and part of next week. We'll get through all that. But blowing your way this evening is a chance for your little stars to shine. I'm really kind of looking forward to this because there's a lot of untapped potential here in Roswell, and I think that we're starting to kind of experience that. And this is one way to do it. It's the Your Voice auditions happening this evening. So tell us a little bit about the event, how it came together, and how the process works.
Okay. Well, my daughter is 12 years old. Her
Okay.
name is Mallory Sanchez, and she's been singing since she was 5.
Really?
She just barely stopped, actually, with her voice lessons.
Okay.
Due to, teacher just being,
Sure.
ready to stop. And,
Mhm.
and so she wasn't really singing anymore, and we wanted to get her out there
Okay.
and keep her going, and that's what we just came up with, trying to put an event together. And we knew Dan and Denise, and I talked to Denise about it, and she's like, I think you should do it. So we put a little event together for our daughter and wanted
cool.
this to get out there and for other kids too.
So the event started because of mom wanting to continue the encouragement.
Yes.
That is amazing. That's an awesome story. Because
Thank you.
You see, look, I'm a father of 2 kids, and I love my kids. I want them to succeed. But why are there so many Saturday games? It's, you want to support your kids, but
At 8 a.m.
There's so much. But you went the opposite direction. You said, no. You're not going to stop. I'm not going to let you.
Right.
You have potential. We're going to let that potential shine. So that's awesome. And in addition, we're finding other untapped talent here in Roswell.
Yes.
Like I said, there's a lot of really amazing musicians here. So the Your Voice auditions. Now, you were mentioning off the air, this is actually the second round of the auditions, correct?
Yes, and we had an awesome turnout for our first auditions. But we just wanted to go ahead and hold another one and give a chance to some more kids. You know, some are just shy and not wanting to get out there, so this is hopefully going to encourage them to come out.
And a lot of it is also kind of the, you know, there's a lot that goes in. I think it's the number one, or if not number one, number two, biggest fear in society is stage presence, is talking to a crowd.
Yes.
Singing to a crowd is even more terrifying because you're putting your talents on display. So this is a chance to kind of, you know, overcome those fears, you know, and really push yourself a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
This is something that I've told people before, is if you want to make a diamond, you don't make a diamond without as much pressure and time as you possibly can. Same thing goes with a sword. You want to make a sword, you have to douse it in fire and smash it with a hammer and douse and it's a continued process to make the best product. And it starts here. It has to start somewhere, and this is where it could start.
Yes.
So we've already gone through one, so we kind of worked the kinks out. We kind of know how the flow of things are supposed to go this time. So it'll be a more well-oiled event and process.
Yes.
At least that's what we're saying right now.
Yes, absolutely.
And no, I have not just cursed it.
What are you doing?
And that's coming up. It's going to be happening tonight at 6 o'clock at the Roswell Community Little Theater at 1717 South Union.
Yes.
Now, if this is the kids, or if this is a parents who wants to take the same route as you did and push their kids to the next level, if this is their first time hearing about it, what do the kids have to have ready? What do they need to bring to the audition?
Just their best personality and be ready to go with a 2-minute performance. It doesn't have to be, you know, anything long.
Sure.
Just enough. And if they want to sing the whole song, they're welcome to sing the whole song.
Okay.
We are just wanting the kids to come out and have fun and enjoy this. It's an all-free event. There is cash prizes for the first, second, and third place winner.
There you go. Now you're speaking their language.
Yes.
Right? Money.
In this society, money talks.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So 2-minute audition, or as close to 2 minutes as you can get. And this is open to the public, so they can you know, pack in the crowd. And again, this is a chance for those kids to perform in front of a live audience. Maybe they never had that opportunity before. This is their chance to, you know, to kind of hone in on things.
Yes.
Now, is there going to be like a judging process? Are we going to have a panel of judges?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have Dan Coleman as one of the judges. Denise.
I'm a judge.
Is a judge.
Very
And
cool.
Trisha Hart.
is
Okay.
another judge.
Awesome. So a great team of judges.
Yes.
Now, are you guys going to do this audition like voice style, where you're going to have the judges weigh in and tell the kids what they think?
Yes.
Well,
it's kind of like that.
I mean, we're not looking for Simon Cowell's out here or anything.
Oh my gosh, no, I could never. I could never.
If we could have done the whole
ghastly.
voice turning chair thing, that would have been amazing.
That would. Hey, something we can plan for next year's
Right?
audition.
Oh my gosh, no.
But-
I could not be mean to children
No,
like that.
not me.
Oh my gosh, no.
I just pictured, you know, Sarah, is this your first time on stage? This should probably be your last time on stage.
Oh gosh.
No, we're not going to have any of that. It's going to be
No, all encouraging.
all encouraging and
Yes,
positive and constructive.
yes.
And and this is a great chance for those kids to get those pointers. Maybe, you know, I'm a little pitchy over here. Maybe my falsetto's a little off. Maybe my vibrato's a little off. And this is a chance to kind of tweak those things for a next audition.
Yes. So the first round of auditions that we had about 6 kids that came out.
Okay.
And they all did amazing. You know, it's so, like you said, nerve-wracking to get up on stage and especially in front of people you don't even know. And, you know, so they all did great. And I lost my train of thought. But so we didn't really give a whole lot of feedback to the kids right then. We kind of just like took notes. They filled out a little audition form.
Okay.
And we all took notes, and we I was so proud of all of them. You know, like I said, to be able to get up there, you know, 10 to 17 years old, these are kids, you know, and it's scary as an adult to get up there and do that.
It's funny. It's scary as an adult, but since I've spent most of my life as a clown for you people, I have less of a hard time doing it. As a kid, your image is everything, and what people think about you is everything. So that puts an added pressure on, you know, am I going to be perfect? And you're not going to be perfect this time, but it's not about that. It's about, you know, finding your voice, finding your skill, and really honing in on that.
Yes.
And honestly, like, personality is a big thing too. You know, like there was one little girl, she was so animated. It was just so fun to watch her while she was singing. It was
very outgoing.
Yeah.
And I think all of the kids, I mean, you know, they all like didn't know each other. They all came together and were talking, and it was some, you know, this is how you experience life and you meet new people.
It's
and
a
that's
bonding
exactly
thing.
And my daughter met them and talked to them, and they made TikToks together. So
Right.
you know, it was a lot of fun.
That's
for
how
them.
the young people communicate.
Right.
Is through short form video. I've found. If they don't have a camera making this face, it's nothing's getting done. By the way, if you ever want to really get depressed, ask somebody under the age of, like, I think they said it was 25, to hold their hand up to their ear like they would if they were talking on their phone. They don't do this anymore.
No.
Kids do this now.
Right.
That's really depressing.
Yeah.
That's like when you find out they took the second space out after the period. It's like, when did this happen?
I know. Yes.
It's literally just like a dog whistle. You're old now. Oh, fine, I'm old. That's
Okay, I did not come here to be depressed. Thanks for that.
You're right. This is about building each other up,
Right,
not knocking
right.
each other down.
Back to the audition.
Yes. So obviously, with different kids bringing their different voices, you're going to have different styles and different approaches to music. Did you see a lot of that in the first audition?
Yes, we did.
A lot of like maybe some R&B and then maybe some country.
Yes, I get like we had like my daughter, she sings different, you know, and then we had one come in with like a powerhouse, and she was, you know, singing Adele, and it was just amazing. Yes,
that's quite an undertaking right there.
Yes, and we enjoyed all of the auditions. Everybody came in. Some had Britney Spears. So
it was just so fun. Like I said, to
they
see
had
them.
a lot of fun. Yes.
So
really
and so we had the auditions that first night, and then we have auditions again tonight.
From 6
And
to
then
8.
The actual event.
The actual event is April 26th.
Okay.
And that's going to be at the Roswell Community Theater from 3 to 10. 3 to 5, me and my husband, we own MS 360 photo booth.
Okay.
So we're going to have that out there.
Oh, the wraparounds?
Yes.
So they did this thing, and I can't remember what they called it at the Oscars this year. They've done it in the past with the 360. It's where you have to like twirl around and stretch
that
toes.
glam bot thing.
The glam bot. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Okay.
So this is something kind of like that, right?
Yes.
That's
And
so cool.
We actually purchased a big background, so that way the kids are going to be able to take some pictures in front of it. We have the 360. We're going to have some goodies out there.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, I know it's early, but if you can get in the ear of the folks that set up the father-daughter dance to be set up next year, like instead of the photo booth.
Oh, yes.
I'll pay you money out of my pocket if we can make, because I want one of those daddy-daughter shots.
We actually were going to try to reach out to one of the, I believe it's April Hunter that does those.
Yeah.
And so we were going to actually reach out and try to get our 360 photo booth in there. But I think they already had all of their stuff in mind. So we didn't do it. But maybe, next year for sure. I'm hoping to continue to do something for the kids in the community, even if it's, I wanted to do one outside, but right now, since it's still cold and windy.
And
so
there's too many variables there.
Yeah. So we're just trying to bring in the kids, let them have some fun. And I don't know. I mean, it's all about the kids. That's our main focus.
I will say it is great that it's happening in the Roswell Community Little Theater because you guys have done a great job with the acoustics of that building, especially that theater, that main theater. The voices travel so well. The last time I saw a show there, I actually looked behind me to see where the speakers were, and I realized, that's coming from them. The way they have the bounce off of the back wall, it is chef's kiss level of acoustics. So it's great.
Thank you so much. As the director at the little theater, thank you. Thank you.
You notice the little things when it comes to performances. So thank you.
Yes. My daughter, actually, what got us involved with Roswell Community Little Theater was my daughter did the Santa talent search.
Okay.
And that's what started it. And when she got up there to sing, she was like, she's really never sang like that on a big stage. And so she was so excited for that. And it was just amazing. And we had a lot of fun. And she actually won third place last year.
Now-
So it was neat.
I feel like I have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
This is an MS Events shindig.
Mm-hmm.
Did your daughter audition?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Did she make it?
Yes.
I was gonna say. I mean, come on. I know that judging is a little bit biased, but wanted to make sure she made it. It would just kind of be poetic justice if you know what, next year, sweetie, next year. But you're gonna be in the audience.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll be there.
No Simon Cowell. Remember we said no, we're not doing that.
And actually, we just want the kids to have fun and be encouraged and know that, there's other places that will do auditions and they have to have the courage to get up there and get it done. And my daughter, like I said, has been doing this since she was 5 years old. So getting up on a stage is like her dream, and I want her to succeed in that, and that's why I push it.
To have a dream at age 5 that stands the test. I wanted to be a rocket baker when I was 5 years old, for all I know. I wanted to. I know at one point when I was really, really young, I said I wanted to be a mechanical engineer because it was very complicated sounding. And then I found out how much school was involved, and I said, screw that, and I became a DJ.
Nice!
Right? Nice little backup career. But it's amazing that she's had that dream and she's had that drive for all these years and has pushed it to where she's pushed it. So it's awesome to see. But, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and it was really cool, like, we were talking about some of the kids that got up there, like their parents, were sitting there and they're like, this is the first time they've ever done something like this. Like, it's the first time they've ever, and that's just so cool.
And so many of the parents were like, thank you. This is really neat. It's awesome that the kid, letting our kid show himself or herself. Yeah. And it was just really nice to have that feedback from parents saying, thank you for doing this. And I mean, it's all for our kids.
It is. And mom, dad, honestly, if you, let's say, are walking down the hall and you see the classic kid in front of the mirror with the hairbrush.
Yes.
Maybe you recognize the potential that they have before they even recognize it themselves. And this is something you could push them to come out and audition. Like you said, it's all free.
Right.
So it's just come on out and take a shot. We want to give as many kids as we can a chance to shine.
Right.
Yes,
and they can just play the song on their phone and
sing it themselves.
Yeah.
Best part about the internet age is you can find a instrumental version of pretty much every song out there.
Right.
That's how we do karaoke night when my friends do karaoke. We just break out the phones.
Right.
It's just easier that way. So again, that's happening tonight, starting at 6:00. We'll probably be wrapped up around 8:00. Because again, it is a school night. But.
Yes, and if they have, I had actually two reach out to me because they're going to church tonight, so they're going to actually audition through the phone, like a video.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to do an audition that way, my number is on flyers. I can put it on here, but they can always contact me and let me know that that's the way they want to audition, and just upload their video to me, and they can get their way like that.
And that takes some of the pressure off of being in front of the live audience. However, if you want to make the finals, you're gonna have to get over it.
Yes, yes.
Maybe give yourself some stage time between.
And
now
we
and
will
then.
be having rehearsal before the main event, so they're gonna have to get on stage.
So kids, bring your all, whatever you got. If it's if you're up and coming R&B singer, there's a whole lot of country artists around here that are really coming up. I knew this kid about a year ago. I was at a remote at one of the truck driving schools in Artesia, and I met this kid, Brendan Mobley, and he just casually dropped. He's like, I have a song on Spotify, and I went and pulled it up, and I'm like, I get some of these a lot. People are like, hey, play my song, but I want to make sure that it's broadcast quality, that it's It's a great song. It's called The Hole on Spotify. If you ever look at Brendan Mobley, we play it over on our station 92.9 The Brand. But I love that. I love having that opportunity to be in a position where I can give somebody a chance to shine. Whether what they do with that chance is up to them, but to have the opportunity to give them that chance it's a great feeling.
Yes,
nice,
it is.
Nice.
It really is.
Absolutely. So bring your all kids. Come on out tonight. Again, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Roswell Community Little Theater, 1717 South Union. You could be 2 minutes away from fame and fortune and getting those chairs turned around on The Voice.
Right.
That's awesome. And it's open 10 to 17. That's important. So ages 10 to 17.
Yes.
You have to be at least 10, but As long as you're there, you qualify. So come on out.
Yes.
Absolutely. What else we got coming up? Any big events or shows or anything you guys want to talk about or promote?
Sure. So Roswell Community Little Theater, we have our next play in production right now. It's called The Explorers Club.
Okay.
It's a hilarious play. Great cast. Alethea Hartwell is directing that. Nice. Opening night is March 28th.
Okay.
So it's that weekend and then the first weekend in April. And so want to encourage people to come check that out. We have great acoustics.
Really good. Just so good.
And then also this summer, we're going to have like a little mini theater camp for kids.
Okay.
We were talking about it last night at our meeting at the theater. It's going to be in June. I don't have the exact dates.
Is that the usual tie-in we do with the Missoula?
So normally we did have Missoula come in. Mm-hmm. This is just through our community little theater.
Okay.
One of our members there, this is like her project, and she is spearheading it. And it's open to school-age kids, I think 3rd through 12th grade, I think is what it is.
Okay.
And it's going to be like a 2-week thing. They're going to have little mini shows, and then they'll perform the final Saturday. So something for the kids to do during the summer, part of our CAPS program, kids arts programs. We want to encourage kids. They should be hopefully getting more publicity about that going out, but that'll be in June for kids also. So we've got this cool voice singing coming up, and then we'll have an acting. So
it's so cool that the Roswell Community Little Theater has taken it upon itself to give kids a voice in this. Right now, it feels like especially in the realm of social media, everything gets lost. It gets lost in the shuffle, and you're only like one post away from getting into a fist fight with somebody.
Yeah.
So it's great that we're giving these kids a chance to have a voice of their own outside of these.
Yes.
That's awesome, and I love to see it.
And I will say, my daughter, she's a senior in high school now, and she was involved in our CAPS program at the theater since she was 6 years old.
Really?
And she was just one of the leads in the play that we did there in January. I directed it, but she was amazing.
Name dropper. It's awesome, though.
But
again, it's that that stick-to-itiveness of staying with something that you find and that you love.
And it has helped her really, like you were talking before about stage fright. Her public speaking is amazing. She's not afraid to get up and talk to people and to be on stage. And it's just that, going through that and helping them build up that confidence. Yeah. And I'm so proud of her. Sorry.
Absolutely. Yes. I will say this, and this is maybe just a hint of a grain of bad news. It never fully goes away, stage fright. Like still to this day, I do Red Dirt, Black Gold, the IMC, those shows. I'll get the artist name, and literally before I get to the microphone, I'll have forgotten it already. It's one of those things there's elements of it that never fully go away.
Right.
It's part of the fun of it.
Right.
Is, it's how am I going to slay this dragon this time, So kids, face your fears. It's the only way you're going to find out if you're any good at anything,
And it is exhilarating to be on that stage.
Absolutely.
I've been in plays before, and like you said, it doesn't ever go away. I'm backstage before I go on, like, okay, here we go. But
it's what keeps the performance honest, though, because you're going to go out there and you're going to do your best and give your best performance, and we'll see what happens on the other side.
Yes.
Right?
So we're excited to see the kids tonight.
Absolutely, kids. Tell your friends if moms, dads, if you're listening, let your kids, tell your kids about this first and see if they're down, if that's something they want to do. And then have them call their friends and say, hey, y'all want to try out? You want to give it a shot? Are they any group auditions, or like if like a 2-person group, or one of they do like harmony thing?
That would be cool.
That would be cool. We haven't had any group auditions.
So there you go.
That would be awesome.
Maybe you and your buddy are really good at finding that harmony or something. Bring it on down. It'll be a good time. It's tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Little Theater there at 1717 South Union. And if you want more information now, let me ask: is it okay to give your phone number out?
Sure.
Okay, because you were like, you hesitated at first. I wanted to make sure.
I didn't know if we could do it.
So if you have any questions or need more information, or if you can't make it tonight but you want to do a phone-in audition, call Miss Dana Sanchez at 575-626-6315. That's 575-626-6315. And she'll have all the info that you need to know about the event tonight and the event coming up April 26th also at the Roswell Community Little Theater. We get it all? We squeeze it all in?
I think so.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you so much.
Good thing, too, because we got to wrap up early because we're going to get kicked off the air here in just a couple of minutes. The Roswell High Coyotes are playing quarterfinal basketball. So.
Yay, go Coyotes.
Go Coyotes.
Thank you, ladies. We'll see you next time. And,
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day. 39 minutes after 9 o'clock, going to pause and play a couple of commercials before we get you into high school basketball action right here on A Morning Without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Sorello. With the weather forecast that includes extreme wind on Friday, the Roswell Solid Waste Department is making some temporary changes to their trash pickup schedule for March 12th through 14th. Wednesday, today, Southside 300-gallon alleyway containers will be collected. Thursday, regular curbside pickup for the Southside 96-gallon containers will take place as scheduled. North Side alley and curbside pickups will also take place on Thursday instead of the usual Friday pickup. To ensure rollout, 96-gallon curbside containers are not blown away on Friday. Residents are asked to secure the containers Thursday night. Measles infections have expanded into a second New Mexico county, and the current outbreak involving Texas and New Mexico includes at least 200 cases. Eddy County health officials confirming Tuesday that one person has tested positive for measles here. Lee County also adding 2 more cases Tuesday, but neither county is reporting any hospitalizations. According to state health officials, since February 1st, nearly 9,000 New Mexicans have received a measles, mumps, rubella, or MMR vaccine, compared to just over 5,300 statewide last year. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I don't like what they're doing to Elon Musk. I think it is, between the death threats and now attacking his businesses and targeting him and threatening him. And what has he really done? They've just look objectively.
We interrupt this regularly scheduled programming to bring you
Thank you. And now let's meet the players. First for the Scorpions of Farmington High. Non-starters. What the hell you say? Cannon Moore. Number 1, Trey Lott. Number 5, Hayden Lazelle. Number 10, Connor Neff. Number 13, Luke Swayze. Number 15, Samuel Coates. Number 21, Dylan Soto. Number 22, Eric Conamille. And number 24, Ryan Tracy. And now let's make their starting lineup. 6'2", senior number 2.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the pit here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We are here at the 2025 Nucenda Credit Union Boys Basketball Championships. We're here in the quarterfinal round with the Roswell Coyotes taking on the Farmington Scorpions. Art Sandoval, Kelly McDonald live from the pit. And introductions of the players this morning. Introducing the Farmington High School Scorpions. Currently coming in this contest 20-10 overall, 5-5 in district play. Ranked 13th in the 5A classification, but received the 12 seed in the 5A tournament. Introducing the Farmington Scorpions, the 5 starters. Number 2 is Michael Beck, the 165-pound 6'2 senior. Number 3 is Landon Begay, the 140-pound 6'1 senior. And number 11 is Alex Serrano, the 6' senior, 195 pounds. And number 12 is Isaac Dining, the 6'2 junior, 160 pounds. And finally, number 41 is going to be Satyrus Griego, the 6'4 junior, 250 pounds. And the Farmington High School assistant coach is Jacob Armijo, Matthew Crockett, Michael Crockett, Phil Griego, Danny Seacrest, and the head coach is Larry Don Chitty. And for the Roswell Coyotes, coming in this contest, 23-7 overall, 5-1 in district play, ranked 4th in the 5A classification, and ranked 4th overall in all classifications. And then, of course, the Roswell Coyotes receiving the number 4 seed in this tournament. Introducing the Roswell Coyotes, starting 5 is number 1, the 5'9 senior, is Jalen Cloud. Number 3, the 6'2 senior, is Zai Carrasco. And number 4 is Jeremy Sobrano, the 5'7 sophomore. And number 10 is the 6'2 senior, Jacob Palomino. And then finally, the 5'11 senior, number 23, Rylan Saraceno. And the Roswell Coyotes are assisted by Chris Barola, Nathan Fuller, Derek Gomez, and the head coach, Mr. Moise Dude-Barola. All right, we're just seconds away from the start here, and here we go. Art Sandoval, Kelly McDonald. Coach, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, ready for some basketball, and we are ready to tip it off right this second.
All right, and it's 12 versus 4. The Roswell Coyotes are the 4 seed, Farmington the 12, and Farmington will gain possession right off the bat. Michael Beck, the 6'2 senior, will pass it on over to number 12, Isaac Dining, the 6'2 junior, guarded by Saraceno. Now over to the right side is Landon Begay. And just like that, it is going to be rebounded by Jacob Palomino. Quick outlet over to Cloud. Cloud will score off the bank. And just like that, the Roswell Coyotes in the lead here in this quarterfinal round. We're here in the 2025 Newsenda Credit Union Boys Basketball State Championships. Winner will advance to the semifinals, and a turnover for the Farmington Scorpions. Saraceno with the ball. Palomino over to the left side. And that young man right there, Coach, Jeremy Sobrano, could be a key factor here in this ball game this morning.
Oh, absolutely. If he gets hot, and he's wide open right now, was open for a shot that will take a layup anytime. And Palomino scores for a quick 4-0 lead for Roswell.
Full court pressure by the Roswell Coyotes. Number 2 with the ball is Michael Beck, the 6'2 senior for Farmington. Will quick outlet to the baseline. And that is going to be number 3 now, Landon Begay. Baseball pass over to the baseline. On the other side, the runner's up, no good.
They're going to call a charge. Couldn't hear the whistle. It's pretty loud in here.
Well, Coach, you and I were talking. That's going to be on 41.
Satarius Griego, his first foul of the game for either team.
All right, hey, and this looks like we're here at the very bottom of the pit right now, and this stadium holds between 15 and 20,000 people, but it's still a lot of people as of right this moment, Coach. I'll tell you what, it's a very nice sight, very nice to see the Roswell Coyotes in this quarterfinal round. Sobrano from three-point land, and good! And just like that, the Farmington Scorpions will call a timeout. We'll be back here in 30 seconds. KSVPTV.com, audio only, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the pit here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're here at the 2025 Newsenda Credit Union Boys Basketball State Championships quarterfinal between the Roswell Coyotes and the Farmington Scorpions. The Roswell Coyotes off to a great start here in this first quarter as they lead 7-0. But Kelly, you and I were talking coming up here this morning at 5 o'clock this morning when we left, how good this number 12 Farmington Scorpions team is. They upset Oregon Mountain. What's your thoughts on Farmington, Coach?
Well, I mean, they're playing really well at the right time, but right now they're looking near turnover there. Right now, that's what you want to be doing. You want to be playing your best basketball at the right time. That's what they're doing, but they've been overwhelmed by this Roswell Coyote defense. And if they can keep that up, they can stay in control of this game.
7-0 is the score here at the pit. Roswell in control at this point in time. And they're going to get Palomino for a travel, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah, just kind of got hung up under there, and I agree with the call as well.
All right, sounds good. Live from the pit, and another turnover by Farmington. Good outlet pass, and Carrasco for 2 more. 9-0 here in this first quarter. 5:46 left here in quarter one. Full court pressure by the Roswell Coyotes. And the crowd is going crazy here at the pit. A lot of fans here from Roswell, New Mexico. All right, number 2 with the ball for Farmington. And that is going to be Michael Beck again. He will pass it over to the right side, over to Begay. Begay with the ball, guarded by Sombrano. Going to kick it back out to number 24, Tracy. Tracy with the runner. That's up, and finally the Farmington Scorpions on the board for the first points of the ball game. So the score now is 9-2, 7-point lead for the Roswell Coyotes. Quarter one, 5:08 left here in this first period. And look at Saraceno off the glass, and he's good for 2, and he will go to the line to shoot the and 1.
Yeah, see who they get for the foul. 24, so they're going to get Tracy. So now every starter has scored in the game for the Roswell Coyotes. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start offensively or defensively for Coach Barola's squad.
All right, Saraceno set to shoot the and 1. And he misses, but the Coyotes still lead comfortably 11-2 here, but the three-point shot is going to be short. And it looks like there's going to be a foul on the ground.
And they're going to get Alex Serrano. So good box out by Zai Carrasco. And now they're going to bring Samuel Goetz in, the senior, 6'6" senior forward. List him at 6'6". He doesn't look 6'6" to me.
No, I don't think he's 6'6", but that's what Max Preps has listed him as. 3 team fouls currently for Farmington, nothing for the Roswell Coyotes. Roswell in control. Palomino. He's going to find Carrasco. Nice pass. Baseline. Kick it over to Sombrano. Baseline again. And now Cloud with the ball. Coyotes in full control. And Cloud is good for 2 more.
Yeah, and I thought he got bumped on the way to the basket there. Could have called a foul, but they'll take the bucket for sure.
All right, there's good ball movement now by Farmington. And now they're going to go to the basket, and no good. And look at Cloud battling. And they're going to have a turnover. First turnover, I believe, or second turnover for the Roswell Coyotes. And now 2 more points now for Landon Begay. So 13-4 in favor of the Roswell Coyotes. Shout out to everybody at Roswell High School that's listening. Probably should be in class, but I guarantee you they're probably listening in the front office, and we're okay with that. Hey, go Coyotes. And we're real happy for the Coyotes and the city of Roswell as we are participating here in the quarterfinal game. Winner will advance to the semifinal game. Here tomorrow night at 8:15, the winner will take on, the winner will take on the number 1 or 8 seed between Volcano Vista and La Cueva.
Yeah, Donathan Tracy picks up his second foul early on. So comes in off the bench, picks up 2 quick fouls.
All right, look at Sombrano, hop from three-point land, and he is good once again, and that's 6 points this morning for Sombrano. They must have eaten their Wheaties this morning because the Roswell Coyotes are hot and are on fire here at the pit.
Yeah, and I noticed Coach Barola not doing a whole lot of substituting here in the first quarter as he's been doing lately. He did make a substitution, brought in Martinez, but there's another turnover.
All right, Cloud, quick skip pass over to Saraceno. Now Serrano with the ball, going to find Palomino more than likely. They're going to get set up, and there's the pick by Josh Martinez. He is the substitution now, but Cloud misses the three-point shot, and now here comes the Farmington Scorpions. All right, Farmington with the ball. They currently trail 16-4, quarter one. With the ball now is Beck. Beck guarded by Sombrano. Good defense by the Roswell Coyotes. Man-to-man currently. Let's see if Beck can have a little skip pass. He does. And it might be the Roswell Coyotes' first personal. Let's see.
Yeah, they're going to get Jacob Palomino. I'm not crazy about that call, but it's the first foul that's been called against Roswell. So I'll tell you what, I'll take that. Almost 6 minutes, 5.5 minutes into the game, and just 1 foul.
Yeah, 2:37 left here in this first quarter, and it will be Farmington's ball. Let's see if the inbound will be successful. Close to 5 seconds, and there's going to be a turnover. Quick outlet, and here comes Cloud again, an easy layup. And look at the Roswell Coyotes doing their job here at the pit. 18-4.
Yeah, they're making a statement defensively right now. There's a foul, and definitely was a foul on Josh Martinez. Will send Farmington to the line as Carrasco and Gonzalez set to check in.
The officials this morning for this quarterfinal round is Chelsea Plaster, Dennis Lovato, and Leonard Longhorn. Those are the officials here in this first quarterfinal round between the Roswell Coyotes and the Farmington Scorpions. Landon Begay will shoot the first free throw, and that's going to be successful. And let's see what he does here on his second opportunity. Score is 21-5, make it 21-6 now in favor of the Roswell Coyotes. Carrasco quick, inbound over to Isaac Gonzalez as Dubarola makes a substitution now. So in the ballgame for Roswell is Carrasco, Gonzalez, Martinez, Saraceno, and Sombrano. Sombrano now with the ball going baseline. And there is Saraceno's trapped up. And there's going to be the baseline shot off the runner, but he is going to be fouled and will go to the line to shoot two. So that's Landon Begay, Coach?
Yeah, he got the foul on Landon Begay, his fifth team foul. So we will be free throws the rest of the way in the first quarter for Roswell.
All right, so Saraceno will sink the first free throw. I mean, Coach, and I'm telling you, the cup of coffee was great this morning, but I'm going to tell you what's even better. This Roswell Coyote team is looking hot this morning. What's going on with the Roswell Coyotes? I mean, Coach, this team here is 23-7, 5-1 in district play. They were tied for the district championship, and of course went to the the home court and then went to the tiebreaker. But I'm telling you, this team looks different.
Well, they definitely made a statement here this morning. And we're going to get a foul. Yes. Foul on Isaac Gonzalez. Third team foul, so no free throws. Yeah, I mean, you just don't ask for a better start than this. I mean, the defense is definitely making a statement to these other contenders in 5A basketball. And, to me, Roswell's showing that they deserve that 4 seed. They're playing like it right now.
Absolutely. Now with the ball is Landon Begay. Begay takes the shot from the free throw line and rebounded by Martinez. And here comes Saraceno. Saraceno with the ball, the natural righty, and Zach Carrasco. Nothing but net. Attaboy Zach Carrasco, and the Coyotes now extend their lead 23-6. And look at the defense by the Roswell Coyotes doing it offensively, but also doing it.
Yeah, everything's clicking. Everything's clicking right now. They're doing a good job on the boards as well.
Well, when you're here at the Pet and you have the final 8 teams left here in this state tournament, winner will advance to the semifinals. There's nothing, but you have to go hard as you possibly can, and loser goes home. I mean, there's nothing to lose, but you come home and, come to the Pit and you do your job accordingly.
All right, so we're going to get Laj Cheadle and Trey Barola checking in here for the last minute 16. All right, trying to decide whose possession it is.
All right, so the possession arrow currently is favoring Farmington, it looks like.
Yeah, Farmington got the tip, so yeah, this should be Roswell ball.
All right, so there's discussion with the officiating crew here. As we mentioned earlier, Chelsea Plaster, Dennis Lovato, and Leonard Longhorn, the officials for this quarterfinal round. Coach Barola having discussion with the scorers table.
Well, now they're going to give Farmington the ball. I didn't think we had a jump ball.
All right, now Farmington will miss. Rebounded by Carrasco. Good rebound. Look at Carrasco go. There is a shot taken now by Clarence Cheadle. Look at Last. 3-point shot is good.
I'm telling you, everything clicking right now. I mean, absolutely everything, every aspect of this game.
I'm telling you, I don't know if Roswell's missed a 3-point shot here in this first quarter. We're under 60 seconds here in quarter one, actually 46 seconds precisely. And now here comes the Farmington Scorpions, and that will be underneath. Misses. And I think that's the right call. They might get Clarence Cheadle, number 44, the foul. Let's see what the official has.
Yeah, they're 4 of 5 on three-pointers in the game. We did have Jalen Cloud miss one, but I'll tell you what, you'll take that every day of the week, twice on Sunday. And this is, I mean, they've just now the challenge is try to keep this momentum going, because this is a fantastic start for the Roswell Coyotes.
Number 21 is going to be Dylan. So he's missed the first free throw. And now let's see what he does here on the second free throw. And Farmington misses both. Actually didn't even hit the front of the rim.
Air ball.
You know, and here we talked about the Farmington Scorpions in the first round of the state tournament. They are the 12 seed. They upset the number 5 seed, Oregon Mountain, 56-49. And I'm telling you right now, this Roswell Coyote team is the number 4 seed, and they sure look like it as they lead 26-6, winning by 20 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, it looks like a 4 against the 12 right now. You know, a lot of game to play, but
And Cheeto thought he made the basket, but unfortunately not. He will go to the line to shoot 2. And the foul is going to be on Landon Begay, I believe.
So now you got Landon Begay with 2, Donathan Tracy with 2 off the bench, 2 other starters with 1 foul. You know, this could be an issue for the Farmington Scorpions going forward.
Excuse me. All right, there's Cheeto with the free throw. I think the Roswell Coyotes are, 3 of about 5 or so in this morning's contest?
3 of 4. We'll see how
3 of 4
do here on this 5th free throw. Only one they missed is Saraceno's and 1 attempt.
All right, so 4 of 5 at the free throw line. And you know how I feel about free throws, Coach. But look at Zach Carrasco. He has grabbed about every rebound that I can see at this point. And look at Isaac Carrasco will throw it up. Trey Barola off the glass, no good. And now rebounded by Michael Beck. Quick outlet. And here comes Sobrano now. Look at this.
Shoot. You gotta know.
Yeah, that's for sure, Coach. Well, at the end of 1, the Roswell Coyotes 28, the Farmington Scorpions 6. We're going to take a break. We're here at the 2025 Newsenda Credit Union Boys Basketball State Championships. KSVPTV.com audio only, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. We'll be right back.
It's a great time to buy a Kubota. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, or up to $3,000 off an L3302 compact Kubota tractor. Now through 6/30/2025. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. Visit Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
All right, welcome to the 25 Newsenda Credit Union Boys Championships, State Championships, that is. Art Sandoval, Kelly McDonald, live from the pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. At the end of 1, the Roswell Coyotes dominate 28-6 as we begin the second quarter, and it looks like Coach Dubarola will have Carrasco, Saraceno, Palomino, Sombrano, and Cloud.
Yeah, going right back to the starters, and why not with the way they started the game. And 28 points in the first quarter to start this off. That's really something.
All right, here comes the Roswell Coyotes. Jalen Cloud will have the ball here. Going to swing it on over to the right side to Palomino.
Yeah, Coyotes shot 10 of 13.
And Jacob Palomino off the backboard will get 2 more points. It's a nice pass by Farmington. And the 3-point shot is up and good.
Yeah, they desperately needed that, but they're still down 21 even after hitting a 3. And Roswell is not going to look to use clock anytime soon.
All right, and the shot by Palomino is up no good, but rebounded by Carrasco, doing the dirty work.
Yeah, and that's kind of an easy shot there. I mean, as a good ball fake, it should have been an easy bucket.
All right, Farmington.
How many rebounds does he have, though? I'll bet he's got 7 or 8. Well, I got it right here.
Well, it should be, well, you probably have it. I'm guessing 8 or 9.
Yeah, they only had him for 2 in the.
Well, that's wrong because I've
Oh, that's 100% wrong.
Look at Sombrano. He can't miss.
And 3 for 3.
Sombrano 3 for 3 from three-point land. And now it looks like Frankie and I will get ready to enter the ball game here momentarily. But the Farmington Scorpions still have the ball and now miss. And here comes Saraceno with the rebound. Quick outlet to Sombrano. Sombrano behind his back, and I guarantee you he wants that ball again.